Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of the Boxing Coalition. My name is Cam. Joining me tonight, MV Chu, Kevin Horn, Arigo Boss, and Joe Morgan. Hope you guys are well. I think we should start off from Corpus Christi. Really decent fight. I need to kind of take back what I was saying last week about the first Kameda McDonnell fight. Sunday morning, for some reason, Amazon decided to deliver some shit at 8:45 in the morning, so I was wide awake at 9. Obviously a bit bored, so I decided to watch the first Kameda McDonnell fight. And yeah, I was kind of wrong. It was a very decent fight, very technical, very close fight, and it kind of hyped me up for the rematch yesterday. So, Chu, I'll start with you. How did you score the fight? How did you see it playing out? And do you agree with all this controversy? Like, a lot of people in the States picking Kameda, a lot of people over here picking McDonnell. What's your thoughts on the whole situation?
Sub Cam. I watched the fight. I can't remember my exact scorecard. I can kind of remember how it went. I had Kameda dominating the early rounds. I had McDonnell kind of getting the middle rounds. Then there was a lot of kind of swing rounds at the end. To sum it up, I thought it was kind of more or less even going into the 12th round. And then McDonnell obviously had that 2-point round. He stepped up. And, you know, look at Kameda's face at the end when the final bell rang, and look at McDonnell's face. McDonnell knew he won that. Kameda knew he lost that. You know, there was only one winner in that fight, and that was McDonnell. I thought Kameda had the more eye-catching shots the left hook coming for the blind side for underneath. It made McDonnell a wee bit more paranoid to throw the right hand like he was in the first fight, but he was still pushing him back with a jab, and he was still landing the right hand. And I thought Kameda done a better job of going to the body, but I thought also McDonnell was going to the body well. It was a good fight. It was, if you look at Twitter, the scores were all over the place. I thought McDonnell won that maybe by a round or two. But if you were to tell me that Kameda won, then, you know, I'm not going to argue with you. Well, I may argue with you, but I definitely think it's a subjective fight that depends what you look at. However, there was only one guy going backwards, and that was his supposed power puncher. I had McDonnell winning. I don't know about you.
I personally had McDonnell winning 116, 111. I just thought, you know, Kameda came out 2 rounds, was excellent. Third round, I think McDonnell adjusted a bit, started taking his output to a lot more. You heard Dave Colwell in the corner telling him, you know, you need to start using the jab a bit more. And after that, I give him a lot of rounds. I'm trying to find my scorecard here, but Kameda, for me, just went on the back foot, and he was looking for too many counter punches. And a lot of people said to me, well, Kameda was landing a left hook a lot, but I saw him throwing it a lot, but I saw it getting blocked a lot. Like, you know, Jamie McDonnell's got those long arms, and when he covers up, man, it covers all the way from his head all the way down to his rib cage, man. So that it's hard to get clean punches on Jamie McDonnell. And go on, you going to say something?
No, I was just going to say he was landing it, but wasn't having any effect whatsoever.
No, and even when I watched back the first fight on Sunday, when Kameda dropped McDonnell, he wasn't really hurt from it. You know, he got up, he shook it off, and he carried on. And he wasn't hurt on Sunday night in Corpus Christi in the rematch. And I thought it was a really excellent performance from Jamie McDonnell. And I was kind of talking to some of you guys after the fight, and, you know, like the Quigg fight and other big names in the bantamweight division, I think McDonnell beats him, you know. I've never really been high on McDonnell that much. For one reason, because he looks a bit like Ramsay Bolton from Game of Thrones. So that kind of put me off McDonnell. But also, like, there's nothing amazing about him. He's just kind of good at a lot of things. He's a jack of all trades almost.
Yeah, but the thing is, Camley, you're saying he'll beat Quigg. I think McDonnell is very big at bantamweight.
Huh? Who beats Quigg?
I think McDonnell beats Quigg.
Okay.
And we'll get to that later though, because I need to get.
I think so as well.
There you go, Ari. What you got to say now? 2 against 1.
We're gonna lose callers. That's what I'm gonna say.
We need to have callers to lose them.
But let me get Kev's opinion on the fight. Kev,
What's up, guys?
how you doing, Kev? Man, McDonnell Kameda. Who did you see winning? What do you think about the controversy?
When I first watched the fight, I had Kameda winning. I thought Kameda won 7 rounds, but I don't know. I kind of prefer McDonnell style, so I think in an attempt to not be biased, I kind of went biased the other way because I don't know. I just preferred the work in the second half of the fight by McDonnell, but at the end when I tallied up the rounds, I think I had Kameda winning by a point.
And were you surprised when you heard, like, from these shows, Twitter, a lot of people saying that McDonnell won it easy / won it clearly?
Yeah, I think the scorecards were off, even though I like McDonnell actually, you know what I'm saying? But I think they were wide for him. But if he went wide the other way, I think that was crazy too, you know?
Yeah. All right. Anything else you want to add to that?
Yeah, I just think, like you said, there was nothing really impressive about McDonnell. He had a chance if he wanted to turn it up, and I think if he doubled up sometimes or just, was a little more aggressive, I think he would have won the fight more clearly, especially if he started a little earlier because Kameda is one of those guys. He didn't really like it when dude was getting in his kitchen.
Joe Morgan said it in the chat, Kev. You said he could have stepped up on the 12th round that the fight was on the table. He dropped him.
Yeah, but I feel like if he fought with that urgency for starting around the 4th or 5th round, he could have pretty much ran away with the fight, if not stopped him. Because that jab from Kameda, which was effective early, was pretty much non-existent as McDonnell kept turning it on, no?
Yeah, but I mean, he was clearly paranoid. I don't think he was really hurt by any left hook that Kameda threw, but he was paranoid about getting caught with it. So, credit to Kameda. He obviously made some adjustments from the first fight, but, at the end of the day, it was like a close fight at the end of the 12th round. To me, whoever won that 12th round probably won the fight. McDonnell won by 2, got a 2-point round. So, I mean, you can say many things, but you can't say that, he didn't step up.
Oh, no. I think I said he stepped up earlier. If he would have stepped up earlier, he would have ran away with the fight, is what I was saying.
Well, fair enough.
You know what I mean? Because look what happened when he did. He put him down. You know what I'm saying? So if he would have done that earlier, I think he could have negated pretty much Kameda's jab and put him down or stopped him earlier. I think he could have ran away with the fight if he would have started turning it up after the 4th round when he first won that round. I think he could have stopped him or put him down.
I think McDonnell had the superior stamina. I thought Kameda was tired halfway through the fight, and that's maybe why McDonnell couldn't step it up beforehand. Because Kameda had a bit too much energy about him, whereas as the more the fight went on, the more McDonnell stepped up. So it was just a kind of I see what you're saying, but to me it was just like a kind of gradual swing towards McDonnell as the fight wore on. He could have took more risks, but why would you take risks with a guy who's known for his punching power? Yeah. Even if he's taking the shots well.
Yeah, and he got the decision anyway, so he did something right? True. Why, you're getting a lot of shit, too? A lot of people are disagreeing with you?
Yeah, there's a couple.
That was a real cough. No, but I think that's the real reason McDonnell got the victory. It was his superior stamina. Because, Kameda, even though I gave Kameda... I had it 3-1 after the 4th round to Kameda. But then it's like he slowed down. It was like the energy, even though McDonnell was losing rounds, he was active, I felt that Kameda was winning rounds due to better punches landed. Like he was landing hooks. I thought he was landing quite a lot of hooks on him, left hooks, some right hooks as well. But McDonnell kept going at that same that same tempo, while Kameda kind of faltered in the middle round, started looking for breathers and, change up his game plan. Even though he was winning, he changed up his game plan. So obviously something happened there that he didn't like, or I think it's just about McDonnell's style and his high energy pace. It's just some people can't handle it, and Kameda showed he couldn't handle it, and it's really the main reason he lost, in my opinion.
Did you score the fight, Harry?
No, I didn't score. I was just watching it, to be honest. But I had it 3-1. Then, no, don't get me wrong. I knew McDonnell was going to get the decision. I felt McDonnell won. It was close. Yeah, but Kameda could have had it if he won it. The first fight was closer, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, I agree with that. First fight was definitely closer. Anything you want to add, Harry?
No. But you need to stop that Quigg talk. 'Cause I don't understand how he beats Quigg. He's got no power. Quigg will knock him out.
He doesn't need power. If
I've
he
seen
can keep...
Sayar hurt him. Kameda nearly knocked him out in the first fight. I don't know what you need to see. Guys know I don't like Quigg, but the power's legit.
If the ring's a decent size and he can keep Quigg...
But he was eating hooks.
Yeah, but they weren't really hurting him.
But this is Quigg we're talking about. This is a weight class above.
Yeah, but then
This isn't a bantamweight. You see how big Quigg is.
No, I see your point. But
You're saying Quigg. I can't believe I'm here defending Quigg as well. It's actually pissed me off to have to defend him as well.
no, my argument, Ari, is that if Jamie McDonnell can go into a fight against Scott Quigg with the game plan and he can execute that game plan, I think he can school Scott Quigg. I think it can almost be like Tete versus Butler. I think he can just keep him at the end of the jab. If the ring's a decent size and he can use his feet, because like
Butler.
No, my point is
them kind of punches.
No, my point is more. No. My point more is about Quigg getting on the inside. Something like Butler couldn't do that to Tete. He couldn't get on the inside. And I think if McDonnell can use that jab, keep him on the outside, use his footwork, because he was making Kameda miss a lot, man. Like if you watch that fight again, like the amount of times when Kameda just threw a right hand and he kind of pulled it back.
Because smaller than him. Quigg is still a big guy. That's what I'm trying to get at. Quigg's not small like Kameda. Like McDonnell looked the whole weight class above Kameda. Remember, I messaged you. I said I could believe how big McDonnell looked compared to him.
Yeah, but I bet McDonnell will look like a weight class bigger than Quigg if they ever fight.
Well, because you've forgotten how big Quigg is.
Exactly.
Quigg's not phantom size. He's big.
Thanks. Exactly that. Sorry, Ari. Exactly. McDonnell is probably going to be the biggest opponent Quigg has faced.
I don't know about that either.
I think Quigg is probably as big as anybody at that division, though. So you could say it the other way around, right? McDonnell ain't going to fight a guy as physically impressive as Quigg.
Now, for me, Quigg's more stocky than big. Like, he's not really a big dude. He's stocky, like, big. McDonnell's tall. He's got that range on him. But let me get my boy Joe Morgan's opinion. Joe, what do you think of the fight? How did you score it? What do you think of the controversy behind the scoring?
I don't think there is any controversy behind the scoring. I thought all the judges were pretty spot on. Like, Kameda probably won the first two. Probably I can't argue with being 3-1 up after 4, but he just visibly gassed in like the 4th and 5th. You just saw it. If you put him onto the back foot, he's struggling, and that's exactly what McDonnell did. Increased his punch output, and Kameda can hang with him. And I think you said as well about McDonnell that, he is a jack of all trades, but I think what he's a master at is when you fight McDonnell, you're fighting at his pace. And it doesn't matter, you can be better than him, but you're going to fight at his pace. And he always makes fighters, if you haven't got the gas tank and you're fighting Jamie McDonnell, you're going to lose. Because he'll drag you up and he'll increase the pace. And a bit like Josh Warrington, you can't tell if you look at McDonnell and you can't tell what round. If you looked at him fight and you didn't have the round, you wouldn't be able to guess what round they were in. Because from round 1 to round 12, there's no difference.
The output's the same. The work rate's the same.
You tell me that he looks different in round 12 to round 1 and he doesn't. And how many fighters can we say that about? Not very many at all. And I just thought it wasn't like a masterclass or anything, but I thought he won that fight not comfortably, but he deserved it, definitely. And, I picked Kameda in the first fight, and I picked him in the second fight as well, and he's gone and made a mug of me, but fair play to him. Like, how many Brits go over there and rematch a guy immediately on American soil? Because I know he's Japanese and all that, but he's basically fights out of Mexico and he's Heyman's boy, isn't he? So he's gone over there twice, done the business twice, won't get the credit twice. But, I got nothing but love for Jamie. But I think you can't go up a weight division and then face the monster at that weight division in Quigg. I think it's just too much for him. I think if he goes up to Super Bantam and faces a smaller Super Bantam, maybe not Frampton because he's, an elite Super Bantamweight, but maybe the Seja rematch because he's up there now. I think he can do very well at Super Bantamweight, but I don't know if he beats Quigg because Quigg is fucking huge at the weight. And I don't buy that McDonnell's not got power. I mean, he has some power. I think he has timing more than power. Because even though it was sort of like a semi-slip, he did catch him on the temple at the same time. So you don't know if that caused Kameda's leg to sort of lose function and slip out underneath him. And he did drop that tie at Wembley, even though he was like a bit of a bum. But,
Talk about that midget he fought.
Yeah. But... yeah, obviously, he's not a fucking monster puncher, but I wouldn't say he's feather-fisted or anything. He's got decent power, but no, I had a lot of time for that. That was a quality performance, and it would be a shame for him to not sort of try and go after another title at bantamweight because I could see him picking up another couple of titles as well. But if he's struggling at the weight because he is very tall, then fair enough, move up. But I think the best thing about that fight was. It was just another example of in boxing how the guy who lives the life is the guy who gets the most out of their talent and puts in performances. Because we've all heard, we've seen the articles about Kameda, doing stupid shit. And, in his last performance before McDonnell in the first fight, he was sloppy and he got a split decision. And Jamie McDonnell sacrifices and he dedicates and he turns up in shape every fight and gives 100% every fight, every camp, he's on it. And it takes you through these sort of fights. Because if he wasn't 100%, he wouldn't have won these two fights. But as it is, he's gone over, he's created a bit of a legacy for himself.
I tell you what, I'd take to go for dinner at McDonald's house. Probably eating fucking insects.
No. Yeah, well, that's what it takes, isn't it? I mean, he's dedicated, man. And that's what happens when you're dedicated. You put in performances above yourself. And, yeah, nothing but love for him. Great performance, Jamie.
Cheers, Joe. Just going off something you said though, about going up to Super Bantam and facing one of the big dudes up there. I don't know, 118 to 122. It's not a massive step. You guys are making it out like you have to go up fucking 10 pounds, 15 pounds. I think going down at those weights I think his first fight at Super Bantam would just easily be someone of a high quality. I don't think he would have to go there and just fight a nobody just to kind of acclimatize to the weight, because I don't think the weight difference is that big.
The disparity obviously isn't as big compared to some of the other weights where you're moving up about 7, 8 pounds, but down there, I don't know, 4 pounds for a guy that weighs 120 is, that could be all the difference, but you can't put him in against Quigg because Quigg's another guy that dedicates and he boils right down. And imagine the amount of weight that he'll put back on after he makes the super bantamweight limit. He's going to come in about 10 pounds heavier, and that doesn't sound like a lot, but down there, that's a huge disparity in weight.
Yeah,
so
that's.
I'd like to see him have a fight back in Doncaster in front of his own fans because he's deserved it. But as it is in the sport so many times, he's staying out in America, and it wouldn't surprise me if he went and signed with Heyman. Not because he's probably felt that he's been a bit undertreated by Hearn. Hearn wasn't out there again. He sent his dad out there. I don't know if he's pissed off about that, but
Come on, Hearn couldn't miss out the war in Leeds. Whoever that. What was it called again? Sorry.
Oh yeah,
that was the other one. Yeah, he can't miss that madhouse there.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I can see McDonnell going over to Heyman. He's got some decent super.
I don't think Heyman will sign him. I don't think Heyman will sign him.
I think he will. I think I can see him going over. And,
McDonnell's not sexy enough for Heyman to sign on, I think.
Yeah, but I think he might sign him just for his missus.
All right, just a quick question to all of you. If this Quigg McDonnell fight happens, give me a percentage on who you think would win. I'm thinking 55-45 to McDonnell.
I'd have to go 70-30 Quigg.
Wow. Anyone else?
I just think it's that. He's just so big for the weight.
80-20 Quigg.
Fucking hell.
I'd go 55-45 McDonnell. I just think he's a better boxer.
Yeah.
Go 100-0 Quigg. Quigg beats him, period. Who cares about 60-40?
I really don't know what they're seeing, man.
And Ari's the champ, so I go with Ari.
Who were you picking, Kameda, McDonnell, Ari?
I picked split decision. I'm a technician when it comes to this prediction league. You don't know about me.
In other words, Chewy picked it wrong.
He's been underrated, McDonnell. I mean, I'm not a guy who favours non-punchers, but this McDonnell.
Well, the reason I've underrated him for so long is because I still think he lost that Sayer fight.
Yeah, but Sayers proved that he's a fucking quality fighter.
Yeah, I know, but I felt he got robbed in Doncaster. I kind of felt for him.
You think Heyman will make Sayer versus McDonnell at 122?
He's not signing with Heyman, so...
You never know.
How can you say that? How can you be so sure about that? He's just gone and beaten his prize Asian
He's
asset.
not his prize.
What other Asian asset does Heyman have? That's not a euphemism either, by the way.
But here, can we all agree that the best opponent that Quigg would have faced would have been McDonnell if they fight?
Yeah, because I think Kiko is a bit washed up, but yeah. My question is, though, the reason I see that fight happening is because I don't think Hearn would want to throw Quigg into a big, maybe 50-50 fight. Maybe against Danair or Frampton. And then if he loses that, then the McDonnell Quigg fight's not as big. So I think he might get this one out of the way now, and then the winner can kind of go on and represent Matchroom. Because I think it's a close fight. I don't agree with Ari and Kev, man. I think this is a close fight. But I don't know. I think we pondered on this a bit too much now. I think we should move on. Talk about the amazing main fight on that card. Kev, man, off air you were talking about Anthony Durrell and how in the earlier days you were kind of high on him. What did you think of his performance against Rubio?
I gotta eat crow, man. I was high on him about 18 months ago on the coalition. Since then he's drew and beat Beaker, lost to Badu Jack, and basically did this against Rubio. He might as well have lost. This is the type of win where you might have been better off losing. Like, come on, man. This win was ugly. It was such a boring fight, and it just shows that Durrell's really not that good. And it did provide me some good entertainment on Twitter, though. The people who hate Triple G that were calling Rubio a bum when he knocks him out in 2 rounds are now saying, well, he's at 168 now, and Durrell just wanted work. He's coming off a loss and rebounding, so he wanted work. Otherwise, he would have stopped him earlier.
You wanted those rounds.
I'm like, he didn't stop him, period. What do you mean?
He didn't even come close to stopping him, I don't think.
Nah, man. He hit him with everything he got. He was putting in combinations. He couldn't hurt him. But
He was smiling at him.
Yeah, PBC guys and anti-Golovkin guys, it's so funny. And they say if Golovkin goes up to 68, he can't beat Durrell because Durrell's length. I'm like, yo, this dude just went 10 rounds and couldn't do a thing with Rubio. Like, stop. And so I was driving the Durrell train, and now I'm officially off it.
I don't know why you were driving that, to be honest. He's not even the best Darrell in his family.
Yeah, I just heard things from people that I trusted and believed in, but it just lets you know when you hear things from people that most likely it's like anything else in the real world. If they're friends of the guy and they like the guy, they say good things, and if they don't like the guy, they shit on him.
That's true.
I think he has stamina problems. Cause that looked like the main problem he lost to Badou Jack. He just stopped throwing punches, and in this fight again, it's like after a while, it's just energy goes down. I don't know if it's got something to do with. I know he had health problems. I don't know if it's got something to do with that, but it definitely seems to have stamina problems.
I think he's got boxing problems. I think he should just, I don't know, just change it up. His style is predictable.
Yeah,
I think Rubio was kind of toying with him. I know Rubio was losing, but Rubio was making fun of him in there. He's kind of mocking him a bit.
I don't know, man. Rubio was in terrible fucking shape, man. He had like no muscle mass at all.
Yeah, Darrell's best moment in a boxing ring is when he ran into Lamp Abraham after he'd done his brother.
The worst though is like you said, Rubio looked like shit, but Darrell didn't look much better. Neither one of these guys looked like an athlete. They each weighed in 1.5 pounds over the super middleweight limit. And it just, I don't know, man. These Heyman fighters and these Heyman cards, maybe they're not getting enough notice. These guys don't even look like athletes half the time. They come in, but they come in soft. They're not hard. They have no muscle. And, they just don't look like athletes. And it shows in the performance sometimes.
They don't live the life, do they, Kev? They're not living that McDonnell lifestyle.
Yeah, they're not living the life, man.
They're not living the insect lifestyle.
The insect diet.
I can't believe that was the headlining fight. That was like a kind of fight where, the curtains are drawn, and that's like a fight to, just let the crowd gradually drift away, but they just forgot to switch the cameras off.
That's 3 times on PBC cards now where the undercard's been better than the main fight. So it happened on the Mares Santa Cruz and the Huck Glowacki when it was better than that shitfest Cunningham fight.
Well, I was kind of surprised because I thought after the first fight maybe McDonnell Kameda would be the headline, and because for me Rubio versus Darrell was a bit of a nothing fight. There was kind of no need for it, so I thought it would be your undercard fight. But when I found out it was the headline, I was shocked.
It's because they weigh heavier. That's the only reason. They're not even fighting for a belt. They're both guys coming off defeats. Like, how can they headline? No one cares for either fighter. Yep. I'm sure no one really went there to see that fight. Maybe some Mexicans for Rubio.
Did anybody even go there?
I don't know. It was dark. It was dark.
In the stands. It was like WWF, the dark matches, the ones on before the fucking show.
All right. Anything else you guys want to mention about this fight? No, I think that's it.
No, let's talk about Leeds.
No, before we talk about Leeds, I know my boy Leon's jumped on, so we'll just get his opinion about Kameda and McDonnell before we move on. Leon, are you there?
Yeah, all right, mate. How you doing?
Good, man. How are you?
Yeah, good. I'm good.
Kameda versus Kameda McDonnell 2. How did you score it? What did you think of the fight?
It was a good fight again. Very good fight. And I had it McDonald winning it by 1 point.
Oh, so you had it very close then?
It was a draw, and then the knockdown won it for him, which was the knockdown.
Okay.
But yeah, it was a very good fight, but Kameda's got a leaky gas tank, hasn't he?
Dripping some petrol out.
He's definitely dripping petrol. So yeah, but very impressed with McDonald again. Like Joe was saying, always turns up in shape. It was a great win. But I think he should stick around at bantamweight for a little bit. And, I don't think he needs to be going up and messing around with Quigg yet. But that's what's going to happen. Another pay-per-view for us.
Are you going to pay 20 quid for that?
Don't be silly.
What if it's $14.99? That doesn't make a difference, does it?
Ari won't pay $5.99 for that.
I'm done with pay-per-views. I'm actually done. Unless it's Khan Brook, I'm not paying for another one.
Are you getting the Fury?
No.
You're not getting it?
No.
Anyone?
That's a good pay-per-view.
I was going to rant about it later, but we can get back to that.
All right, we'll get back to that.
I don't care if it's a good card. We pay Sky Sports to get good cards. We're not getting it with Sky Sports. They think they can make us pay every time they put a decent card together.
I would pay for Klitschko's ring entrance alone.
I don't want to see that opera performance.
Pop some ecstasy and just enjoy it. The light show.
And I see Bennett in the chat say it's a good pay-per-view. All right, what? Because he throws Brook on it, just to make out like Brook's this pay-per-view star. It's ridiculous. And when Sky ever fucked with Fury, they used to shit on him all the time. Now that he's doing his thing on the top level, they want to try and claim him, put him ringside next to the Leeds fight, have him talking shit like he's on Channel 5. They used to laugh at him. They used to shit on him. Now all of a sudden he's fighting Klitschko. They want to lick his bum.
They've all been picking Joshua over him for the last 18 months.
They've been shitting on him, talking about Joshua, who never fought no one, would knock him out.
Exactly.
That's true. I have to agree with Harry, man.
Sky, I can't be bothered, man.
I agree there, Harry. To be honest, everything you said is
bullshit,
correct.
Man.
But
he looked good in that suit, though.
Don't know about the hat though. But anything else, Leon, about the Kameda McDonnell fight?
Nah.
All right, cool. Let's move on to the UK Saturday night in Leeds. Chemo's card of the year.
Leeds.
We'll start off with Josh Warrington versus Brunker. Who shall I start with? Chew, have you seen this fight?
I did see it, but don't ask me what happened because I was just mesmerised by the whole event. Honestly, I did watch it, right? But I was concentrating more on the commentary than I was on the actual fight. Like I've not watched Josh Warrington a lot. For some reason, his style is just to me boring. You know, I was saying to like some of these guys privately, his style is like a athletic Frankie Gavin, and he kind of lulls his opponent to sleep.
Nah, I disagree, man. I think you comparing him to Frankie Gavin is harsh on Josh Warrington, man.
He's like, you know, like in India, you get those fucking stinks coming out the pot with the guy playing the fucking flute. But he's not got any fangs. He's just he's dangerous. So guys don't want to kind of step into the pocket with him for some reason.
A toothless snake charmer.
That's exactly what it is. I mean, I think the whole, put it this way, if he's not fighting in Leeds, he's half the fighter. I think that whole fucking atmosphere is amazing. You know, I've been watching the videos on YouTube, and honestly, you get chills just watching it. And I think that is very intimidating for the opposition fighter. But I'll tell you what, he's not a bad fighter, but I don't think he's world class, as some of the Sky commentators were saying. That's just ridiculous, man. He needs to actually fight some guy who will fight him back first.
Yeah, no, he's not world class. I mean, Brunker was like he looked like a character out of a Lemsip advert, didn't he? He looked so unwell.
Drowsy
he was like walking flu, wasn't he?
It's true. He had a cold, apparently.
He definitely had a cold.
He said he had a cold in an interview, I'm assuming, before the fight.
Because that atmosphere gave him the chills. Nah, but I mean, that weight division was that featherweight.
Yeah.
So he's got a lot of options. He could go, you know, Quigg. He can go Frampton, Selby. Selby against Warrington. You're not going to get a knockout in that fight, so I mean.
Yes, you would.
Yeah, Selby would stop him.
Selby would knock him out. What are you talking about?
Nah, I can't see it. I think that would be
He wouldn't knock him out, but he would technical knockout. He'd get stopped in like 8 or 9 rounds, I think.
Nah, I think that would go the distance.
Nah, he's knocking him out.
I would put money on that fight going the distance. You want to bet on that?
When it's announced.
You got a bad history of bets, Stu. Do you think that's a good idea?
That's a safe bet.
When it's announced. Even though I don't really want it being announced, but I guess it will be now that Selby's joined Heyman.
Next summer, when we go to the fight, you can actually pay Ari in money. Pound notes.
I'm going to that fight, man.
I'm going to that. I'll go to Leeds.
How much fun did that look?
Chemo said he'll come to Leeds for that. Selby
You
versus
telling me?
Warrington.
I love how people are really snobby. All these, I've been listening to a few things and hearing a few things. You telling me if you weren't there, you wouldn't be having a fucking, that wouldn't get you going. That entrance.
We'll get back to the atmosphere in a bit. Anyone else want to give their opinion on the fight?
He did well, because it's a step up for him, so it's a good victory. But Brunker's very overrated.
Joe, your thoughts?
Yeah, like, I stopped watching after 8 rounds because you sort of knew what was going to happen. Because, this guy really is feather-fisted, like. But he's a bit unlucky, really, because he's in a division where the 4 champions are Lomachenko, Gary Russell, Walters, and Selby. I don't think there's a division in boxing that the champions are that good. If it was maybe like super featherweight or light middleweight or one of the shittier divisions, he probably could win a world title, especially in Leeds. But no chance at featherweight. No chance. But, I agree with you, Leon. All these people going, it's Hearn's just getting the football fans in. Oh, fuck it. He's filling arenas and creating a fucking unreal atmosphere. And if you were there, you'd be going fucking mental as well.
I'll tell you what, I kind of slightly different. I think it's different. If you go to a London thing, there's so many events on so much sport. With Leeds,
yeah, it's the only thing on, isn't it?
They turn up for sport. They always turn up for sport. And they're fighter. It's only what happened to Ricky Hatton. I'm not saying he's going anywhere near to what Ricky Hatton achieved, but it's only exactly the same thing that happened there.
And it's like in London as well, you've got all the different things going on. How much other sport is going to be on Leeds on a Saturday night, innit? When the darts isn't in town,
it's the opposite of that. They go to cricket, rugby league, football. They turn up to every sporting event. It's not because there's nothing on there. It's because they love sport. Rhinos gets 20,000 a week. Leeds in their shitty division gets 25,000 a week.
Yeah, I
turn
think
up, man.
Yorkshire do have quite a defined sort of identity, and they do support their own.
Yeah. Anyway, this is off the fights, is it? For later, probably.
A little bit of breaking news as well, because we're on the Warrington Selby. Lee Selby's brother Andrew's just turned pro.
He took his time.
Where's the crickets?
Yeah, about time.
It was a bit surprising because you've got the Olympics next year, and he was ranked the number 1 flyweight in the amateur game.
Was he? Why did he miss the was it Europeans or the Worlds this year?
He missed
the Europeans. Why did he miss it?
I think he had a hand injury, and because he lost in the first round of the Commonwealths.
Yeah.
And he had a hand injury from going out because he was sparring out with his brother in America. But it's a bit strange because I thought he'd try and jump off the back of his Rio success because he was probably one of our favourites to medal out there.
Yeah.
But he's obviously got an offer from somewhere and he's going pro, probably from Heyman.
What weight class is the Selby guy?
He's a flyweight, so you don't have to worry about him.
Never heard of him.
You chewed what? Pasta cunt?
Yeah.
I'd probably walk on him.
Alright, let me just give my
future Welsh champ anyway, so.
Anyway, off topic.
Alright, just go back to Warrington. Let me give my 2 cents. I was really impressed with him. Obviously, he's not got the power, so he's not got that ultimate kind of ending, knocking guys out, giving the crowd what they want. Obviously, that could make a crowd restless, but they love him. They're backing him. As for himself, obviously, you guys hit it on the nail. Brunker was terrible, but he just fought the guy that was in front of him. I thought his mixture of combinations was excellent. I thought his footwork was excellent. The way he would kind of throw his combinations and he'll be in the pocket, he'll always cover up. Soon as he's finished throwing his punches, his hands will be up, his elbows be tucked in, and if he's in the pocket for too long, he'll throw some more and then get out, or he'll just spin out and get out of the pocket. If you look at him after the fight, he was barely touched, no really marks on him. If you look at Selby after the Brunker fight, he was, I'm not going to say he's going to bashed up or nothing, but he was marked up. Maybe it's just the skin, thinner skin or whatever, but I was impressed with Warrington. I don't think he beat Selby. I think Selby beats him, but I think it's a closer fight than most people think. And it's definitely a fight I would go to next year if that happens in Leeds, if it happens in a football stadium, whatever. And I spoke to Chemo today. He said he would definitely come over for it because he knows, like, in the UK, our atmosphere is second to none. Look at that Leeds card. It was a fucking terrible card, but the crowd came out. And I'd rather see, like, I know Ari would disagrees with me, but I'd rather see a venue full of casual boxing fans and maybe hardcore football fans enjoying a night of boxing rather than an empty stadium with just a couple of handful of hardcore fans and a few casuals. I'd rather see, the rafters full and people enjoying the boxing. And people like Kev, if he goes on YouTube and streams this fight and he sees the atmosphere, it puts British boxing up there with, like, other countries on the map. Obviously, USA is always the heart of boxing, but when you see atmospheres like that, you can't take anything away from that, man. Like, it's nice to see our sport, like, getting that type of publicity. And
I wouldn't even say U.S. is the heart of boxing, because the heart seems to be in Europe. That's where people are passionate about it.
I think the passion's there.
Boxing here is more of a business as opposed to heart. Like, we don't have those atmospheres. People aren't passionate about boxing the way they are about, basketball or baseball or NFL,
I agree about that, but, like, when I think of, like, big boxing fights, I always think of Vegas or Madison Square Garden. So it's that kind of, it's been ingrained in your mind that all the classic boxing fights happened in the States.
But anyway,
why'd you say I disagree?
Because
one sec, Joe. Why'd you say I disagree?
Because you said to me in the past that, like,
I'm just saying that card was shit.
No, but before this, like, I think the last...
Warrington could sell out... Wait, one sec. Because Warrington could sell out every seat in that house, Hearn doesn't feel he needs to do a good card. Because other than the Warrington fight, I don't really care about seeing two guys fight for an English belt. I don't want to see Martin Murray fighting a light middleweight and they're making out that he's making shockwaves. Other than the Warrington fight, I watched the rest of the card with one eye.
I just like hearing that for Chemo's impersonations. Other than that, you could keep it.
Let's keep it real. That card was shit.
Yeah, no, but Harry, let's keep it more real. What the fuck would Hearn be doing if he was stacking that card, knowing that he could sell it out whether he put shit fights on or not?
I know that's
business.
Again, I said that's the reason he knows he can sell them rubbish, because they're gonna go there no matter what to see their boy Warrington. There's no shame in that, but I'm not gonna act like the card was great.
Yeah, but then why are you hating though?
I didn't say nothing. He said I disagreed. I never said nothing about disagreeing.
No, you did. You have sent me personal messages where you have said, like, you don't want to watch these football fans getting drunk at the stadium.
Because the card's shit.
Don't throw him under the bus, man.
No, I'm just being truthful.
Yeah.
I
agree that the card was shit. I agree that.
Good. Was that card good?
No, the card was shit.
What's the previous league card?
No.
Exactly. I want to see good boxing. I don't give a shit. That's all right. If you want to, I want to see good fights. I don't care if, all right, they're good in the atmosphere. All right, it's good. It's good for the background. But the main thing is the boxing. Let's keep it real now. I want to see good fights. I don't care if they're having a good time. I want to see good fights. I don't care, like I said before, I don't care about Murray fighting a bum. I don't care about English belts being co-mains. Yeah?
I think
your fight wasn't even on TV. I don't understand what's going on with that card.
Yeah, Ari, I think we all agree with you. We all want to see good fights, but you can't expect to see good fights when you've got a guy like Warrington who sells a place out. They could have a fucking 3 fucking fights, amateur fights, making their debut, and they'd still sell exactly the same amount of tickets.
Yeah, but the point is, I think Ari's making a good point, is that it should be good, because it's a good atmosphere. They should give him better fight. If they had better fights, the atmosphere would be even better.
My biggest issue is this shouldn't be a 4 or 5 card fight. Sorry, 5 fight card. It should be maybe like PBC, 2 or 3 fights. I think Sky are trying to milk it, and like that English fight, that should have been on like something like Fight Pass. That shouldn't be televised on Saturday night on Sky Sports. Not in my opinion.
Yeah, but Cam, I'd rather that than a showcase Murray Shockwave fight. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but unfortunately we got those as well, didn't we?
You know what? I think Eddie Hearn is trying to give us pre-mark and trying to tell us it's Marks and Spencer.
Primani.
He's been doing that for a while now.
However,
but I'm apparently a hater.
However, I think
It's okay, Ari. Embrace it, man. Embrace it.
I just want
ultimately,
good fights. I'm not. You guys, I'll keep going because you guys know these past like couple months and shit. I haven't really been caring for boxing because we ain't been getting shit.
yeah,
We
but I
haven't
mean,
been getting.
he's doing a good job because
And
look at the fans.
I'm not even going to go to her. I'm going to go on to Heyman where he's got all these guys, but we're still not seeing the fights we want.
Ari, man. Ari,
Why hasn't Berman Porter been made yet?
Yeah,
Why are
Ari,
they ducking each other?
Wait a minute, Ari. Wait a minute. I'm glad you mentioned Heyman
I want to see fights. I don't. Like, what are we here for?
that's all
And then,
Heyman's fault. It all
over
goes
there,
back to Heyman.
I'm seeing every week their champions are fighting the best. They just had a fight just now where they gave a guy a rematch that I've been waiting to see a rematch for ages. He finally got his rematch. They even got women fighting over there looking good, man. What are we doing over here? We're seeing bums versus contenders every week, and then we got guys like Quillen acting like he has to get like 5 million to fight a decent opponent. Like, what are we doing?
Ari, let me speak to you for a minute, okay? This is all Heyman's
I'm
fault.
a hater, but I want to see good fights at a Leeds card where they had a good atmosphere. But Murray fought no one. And then they want to act like he deserves a title shot. You haven't done nothing at 68, mate.
You're not hyped up
Why
for
do you
Adonis Stevenson versus Thomas Carpensy?
Or Lee Shelby against Fernando Montiel?
Errol Spence versus Chris Van Heerden?
Hey, that's a good fight.
Fuck that.
No, it's not.
I keep hearing
Van
about
Heerden
Errol
never-
Spence fighting everybody, and he still hasn't stepped up.
all right, let me
No,
get back
Only
to.
one person Van Heerden's beat.
Oh, wait. Like, we're getting off topic. Ari, like, let Chew finish what he was going to say, because every time he was going to make a point, you cut him off. Go on, Chew.
Sorry,
No,
this,
'cause you actually tried it, though.
this is all Heyman's fault. Heyman's saturated the market. He's made every other promoter have to spend more to keep his top fighters. That's why he's got no budget. That's why he's having to put on these fucking shit fights. But I think from Eddie Hearn's point of view, he's thinking, okay, right, if I can't get a competitive fight, what do I want? I want a finish. I want a flashy knockout that I could put on Sky Sports News. You know, if Americans don't know, that's like ESPN Sports Center. He wants, you know, the 10-second little video reel with a knockout. Maybe that's not good for the purist fan, but I don't see a lot of purist fans when I watch a Josh Warrington fight. I see maybe 50% boxing fans and 50%, you know, football fans, casual fans. So if you're a casual fan, if you can't get a competitive fight, what do you want? You want a fucking knockout. And I hate to say it, but I mean, you're getting knockouts. Maybe you're not getting competitive fights, but I mean, ideally you'd want a competitive fight and knockouts and knockdowns, but you know, it's not a perfect world. He's on a budget. And I don't really hate Eddie Hearn like some do. I think he's doing a fucking great job. He's revitalised fucking British boxing. His hands are kind of tied. He's getting this big fucking Al Heyman cunt stealing all his fighters and putting the prices up. You know, he's done a better job than Frank Warren. Frank Warren can't even put on a fucking one card.
He can't put on, not one card, he can't put on one fight on a card.
Yeah, but like, Ari, I think your intentions are completely right. Like, we all agree. We all want better fights. It's just, I don't think we're being realistic to what we, and we should expect the best, because obviously we're fans and we should always put pressure on the promoters to give us the good fights. But sometimes you got to just realise, you know, we ain't going to get the best all the time.
Let's be honest though, that was a fucking appalling card.
It was.
However
It was
much I
dog
enjoyed,
shit.
However much I enjoyed watching it for some perverse reason, it was a fucking shocking card. Bellew was horrible. Murray beat up a midget.
Yeah, go on. Sorry.
And then I don't mind the British level fights, but Cam's right. They shouldn't be on our telly, or I should be getting them from somewhere else. I mean, as fights, standalone fights, I have no problem with them. It's just, yeah, there should be just a lazy card. It's a lazy card. And he knows he doesn't have to work because he knows the crowd can turn up, which isn't fair on that crowd, even if they are a bit drunk.
And then we're told to pay for Vlad Klitschko in November. You know, I heard that fight's free in Germany. So
Is it free in the States?
You know,
It's always
it'll
free
be
in
free in the
Germany.
States. It must only be on HBO.
Nice.
Go.
I disagree. I can remember 10 years ago, Sky Sports, when I was first watching boxing on Sky Sports, you know, we're getting like Takaloo against Richard Williams, and that was like for the British belt. And fucking, that was a great fight. That was a British fight. Did they fight? You know, I'm just putting two names together that I remember, but you know, it was like light middleweight kind of British level fights. They were great fights. Now we're kind of.
This is a bit low. This is English belts. It was
Yeah,
like,
we're not even getting British belts no
yeah,
more. Yeah,
exactly.
we used to get British belts.
British
I don't mind British belt for co-main, you know, but it was English belts. I don't even know who these guys are.
Yeah, but I think Ari.
No,
I
you
think
do.
I think Ari. I think you think that the Leeds card is the norm. What again? I would
It is
say
the norm.
I don't think it is. I think that was an abnormality.
Have you been seeing these cards we've been getting by her this year?
Yeah, we had that
or not?
Manchester bill about a month ago, and that was an excellent card.
Yeah, but we had the Birmingham bill.
That was the first good card of the year.
It's not worth arguing because for every good, half decent bill you can say,
That was the one good card of the year that we didn't have to pay for. Like the last Leeds card wasn't good. That Newcastle card,
Birmingham card.
card.
I think you're taking.
Am I supposed to keep going?
Yeah, but I think you're taking Hearn's opening of 2015. If you look at 2014, I think the year before he had a pretty solid year in terms of the cards he produced.
But I'm talking about the present. Let's try keep it 2015. Well, are we supposed to allow him to take a year off? Well, that's what it was a payment. But he showed from this year that it wasn't. It's still the same. He had bloody Darrell head and Berto. Like I said, I'm still waiting for Ferdinand Porter. I thought that was coming.
That shit's never going to be made. They're going to hold that over and over, like it's going to happen, it's going to happen. This way, when you get fed bullshit, they'll be like, don't worry, this is the last fight before you get Thurman Porter. And we're never going to get it.
So I think you're not even going to give credit to Callum Smith and fucking that fight getting made. Callum Smith and
we did.
The funny thing is, I don't even want to talk too much about that fight because I still see it. I still don't believe that fight's going to happen. That's how shocked I am by that fight. But if it does, then credit to Hearn. He made one fight that I didn't think he would make because I've been saying for a while, I don't think he's going to make it. But, he's made it. Let's hope he gets here. You know, we thought we finally got Saunders lead. We still ain't got that shit.
To be fair to you, we were all last week we said that we were happy with both that Birmingham card and that Liverpool card.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like Eddie Hearn's more or less got like a weekly programme. You're not going to get fucking Rocky Field and Callum Smith every week. You're going to get some stinkers.
That's one of my issues. I think he has too many dates with Sky. I think he should condense them a bit and have better cards rather than kind of spreading himself a bit thin.
But then he's got too many fighters.
Unfortunately, they have cut it. They are cutting the number of nights he gets, but he's got to provide at least 4 pay-per-views a year. So it's fucking, it'll be, nearly an extra £100 a year to get good fights.
Yeah, basically, it's because I realise now it's because of Fox Groves. Fox Groves made them greedy. Now they want pay-per-views. They want, like Leon said, apparently they want 4 a year. They're trying to make Quick Donaire. They most probably put Joshua versus White on pay-per-view. They got Vlad Klitschko. I mean, Vlad Klitschko. Vlad Fury. Any excuse to put Brook on it, and Brook. I'm not going to shit on Brook for fighting Chaves. It's the best opponent available. Rios didn't want it. Bradley, Top Rank wouldn't let Bradley take it. Furman, I don't know what happened to Furman getting. I'm sure, I don't know. It's the best available fight, but he has to fight someone after that, or. But I'm just getting restless, to be honest. I know guys say, he's going off, but I just want to see fights. I don't sit here every week to be watching shit cards.
No,
you're right.
I agree with you.
You're right.
I agree with you.
And I know we've got to finish the lead thing. But I want to come back to that Sky Tyson Fury thing.
That was the best thing about the card.
What, his rant on the camera?
Oh, I fucking loved that. That was brilliant.
Yeah, we'll come back to that. Are we all done with Leeds?
Martin Murray, what was that guy? Who was that tiny little man you were beating up on?
But they were saying outrageous. This was Martin Murray's biggest test at super middleweight.
Yeah, but Horning said he's credible.
Did you guys see Holling's tweet aimed at what's his name?
No,
Virgil
sorry,
Hunter last night. That was funny.
about not
He should
calling a
get
fight.
shaved with himself for tweeting that.
That was
Warner should get
classic.
slapped for that.
Can I just go back to one moment I remembered? He said that Bellew's opponent was awkward and had world-class foot movement.
Didn't Bellew's opponent get like 3 days notice?
Oh.
And Bellew still was struggling to get him out of there.
Yeah, he didn't land a clean punch.
And then he wants to call out the worst cruiserweight and act like he's the best.
I think we just need
Bellew's
to.
another one. That was become embarrassing. I realised.
Even Bellend.
We need to just enjoy Bellew while it lasts, because he's going to get iced and he's going to retire. So just savour the build up while it lasts.
I don't think Hernandez will ice him, but I don't think Hernandez is even going to win his next fight.
No.
What, against Ramirez in Argentina?
Yeah, that Ramirez guy's
getting robbed.
good, man.
He beat Afolabi, didn't he?
Yeah, Afolabi, yeah.
To be honest, if Hernandez beats Ramirez, I don't even think Bellew deserves a shot at the title. Like, what has he done to deserve a shot at the title?
Beat up heavily.
Just beat Kevin. That's it.
And he didn't
It's
even
not
do
even
that.
cleverly. That was fat cleverly.
That was injured cleverly.
Not very cleverly.
See, just to go back to Nick Holland, I think a lot of people take him too seriously. He's got, he's not like the Colonel, what's his name?
Bob Sheridan.
Yeah, he's not like Colonel Bob Sheridan. He's not even like fucking Al, what's his name?
Bernstein.
First time having a bad memory still.
We've had too many good commentators over the history to end up with this plum.
Yeah.
We've had too many good people through the years, and there's too many good people working now.
Ian Dark shits on Nick Holland.
Oh, destroys him. They all beat him. They're all better than him. The guy in Box Nation's better than him. Rawlings.
The point I'm trying to make, these guys are like neutral. They don't get too excited. They just kind of call it as it is. Whereas Nick Holland is more like a WWF kind of guy. He's like, he's a bit like the guy for Showtime, whose fucking name I forget as well.
Ronaldo.
Yeah, that's the one.
He's a bit Jim Ross, isn't he? He's a bit Jim Ross.
Yeah, he's a hype man. Clearly, that's what's.
He's a bit Michael Cole, isn't he?
Yeah, he's trying to hype up like squash matches. Like they call the guys. So Sky's got a kind of thing where they've got like the Martin Murrays, the Tony Bellews, the Starfighters, and they're fighting jobbers. They follow like a Kev analogy, like a wrestling analogy. These guys are fighting squash matches, and he is there to make that fight seem as equal as possible. I don't take him seriously. I think he's entertaining, and I think he does exactly what Sky employ him to do, which is to get the casual fan thinking it's closer than what it is. But it's not close. I don't take him that seriously. He's not a bad guy, but like Cam says with that tweet, that was disrespectful. Virgil Hunter's done more than fucking he'll ever do in his lifetime. So I think really Holland needs to kind of know his place in the world of boxing. Your entertainment, you're not really taken seriously.
You know what he reminds me of? He looks and sounds like someone who's running for UKIP has come and fucked up my boxing. He just looks like a little Tory, doesn't he? Like a little, yeah. Nah, he's got to go, man. Sorry, Chemo. He's got to go.
All right, let's move on. Anyone want to talk about the Jürgen Bremer fight? I don't. It was okay, Bremer looked decent, but his opponent wasn't.
That might have been the worst opponent of the weekend, Cam.
Yeah, he was pretty. He looked in good shape, but boxing skill wise, he was pretty poor.
I think he might have actually been a bin man.
I actually did hear that on Twitter. I don't know if it's true or not. I did hear that he maybe works at a landfill, so he might.
That's like what Chu said. It's Jobber City right there. A squash match versus Jobber.
Bremer, man.
I miss those days.
Razor Ramon versus Mike Sharp.
Shit, man. Like, Kev always has to bring some WWF analogy into the show.
I don't know WWE. I only know WWF.
Mr. Machismo. All right, let's forget the Bremer fight, man. We got a lot of other good shit to talk about. Diego De La Hoya was on.
What other good shit? Because I'm completely lost about whatever you guys been talking about for the last 45 minutes.
Don't worry about it. I got a topic for you. Just hold on, Kev. Let me just get through a few things. I want to mention this just for the people that find it hard to catch streams or not sure what channel stuff's on. Ring Online, they started to broadcast some of these smaller Golden Boy cards. So the one on Friday night with Diego De La Hoya, that was on Estrel TV, but it was also streamed live, and you could also watch it afterwards on the ringfight.tv or some shit like that. I'll find out properly. Similar to this Friday, I think. So it's not this Friday. I think it's in a couple of weeks. They're doing a similar thing. You'll be able to stream it live on their website. Yeah, there it is. It's on September 18th. There's a small card. It's getting live on Estrella TV and ringtvlive.com. That's the website. So I don't know if Friday you got nothing to do, you want to watch some boxing. It's a very good, high quality stream. So check that out. Next thing, I want to give a shout out to the Prediction League. Reset the Prediction League. Season 3 has begun. Season 3 of 2015. I'll just give the top 5 out because a lot of people are joint places just because it's the first week. We got
Season 4, Cam.
No. We're doing it in years. So you won season 1 of 2014. Hamada won season 1 of 2015. Chappie Hova won season 2 of 2015. And now this is season 3. That's how we're doing it. Doing it in the years.
Okay.
So Mo in 10. Perfect week. He's got 180 points this week. He's in first. Ari, you and Sarah Sasa, joint second with 142. Rob Palmer in third with 130. Bruto Deluxe in fourth with 122. And in joint fifth, as_boxing, Boxcar, Zar Christoph, and Twitter 529829967. If that's you, Mr. Twitter, you can go to your profile, top right hand corner, and you can change your username once and just select enter. You won't be able to change it again, so make sure whatever you change it to, you want to keep it. And that goes to anyone else that's signed in to the Prediction League via Twitter. You can change your name. Give a shout to the people in the chat. We got Basileos, Casual Fun, Beast Mode, Danny, Chris DLFC, James Bennett, BRD Hey, Marky Mark TMT, Davis Lee 1, Tico, PM versus Ayo Bushisi 12, Arizona Slim, Nunez 83, Heisui, The A-Side, Bill Bones 101, Thunder Gatti, Zar Christoph, Nesmatic, TBE Chef, KH Long Beach, London Box Kevlar, Ted Turner, SWCW, Zane's World, Death via Prozac, Wasif 1, Carwile, Lucan, Nick G, and 21 guests. Okay, move on. Couple of news topics that were quite big in the boxing industry between this show and last week's show. I want to start off with Tim Bradley, apparently leaving Joel Diaz. I'll start with you, Kev, seeing as though you didn't know what we were talking about for the last 45 minutes. What do you think of this news? Do you think there's rumours about maybe his wife has kind of made him leave? What's your thoughts on the whole situation?
The fight or him changing trainers?
Well, the fight against Rios, it's not 100% set yet, has it?
No, I don't think so, but that'd be a good fight. I'm happy about that. That fight got me thinking, like, some people are, like, stupid enough to think that the PBC Cold War is good because it puts pressure to make better fights, but it's not like 50% of each roster is on each side, so it sucks because on, like, one side, like, the best fight we could get is Bradley versus Rios, whereas Bradley and Rios would make for great fights against most of those guys on PBC side, but we'll never see it. So anybody who thinks it's good that there's a Cold War in this competition is just fucking stupid. But Yeah, that shit is crazy. If his wife really got him changing trainers like that, like that's nuts. I mean, if you want to change trainers just because the guy costs too much and you don't think he could really teach you anymore at this point, or you're just not happy with him during camp, then it's good to change. But I don't know. It seemed like they had a good relationship. It just seems odd to me that they're changing.
Yeah, I agree. I was joking with my boy King J earlier in the week that, his wife's his manager, so she's making that percentage. Maybe she's going to become the trainer as well. Get out the mitts and do some pad work with him. Save on the trainer expense as well.
Yeah, I think it's just saving fucking expenses, man. But what's he gonna do? Have his pops out there just screaming at him while he hits the heavy bag? And like, I don't get it.
Wouldn't
I
surprise
mean,
me.
anybody could do pad work, and most of these trainers now are like, to me, it's like they might as well just be like trainers at a UFC gym that just hold pads and try to like be like Roger Mayweather and shit like that. But Diaz is somebody who actually like would bring out like the change his stance based on the fighter, throw different punches at the guy, and seemed like he was really a good trainer. And his advice in the corner always seemed spot on. I don't think any of us ever really came out criticizing Diaz after any fight. If anything, we criticized Bradley for ignoring Diaz, right?
That's the issue. I think there's some kind of trust has been broken. Feels like that to me.
What about you guys? Anybody else feel that way?
I think the funniest thing, Kev, is the names we're hearing who are going to replace him. I mean, Teddy Atlas. I mean that's the strangest thing to me. Not like he's.
I think that was bullshit. Bang. I don't think there's any truth to that.
But it's not like we're hearing he's going off to Kovalev trainer or to someone, kind of really forward-thinking trainer. It just seems like he's going to employ a yes man.
Yeah, I think that's what he's doing from here on out, and he's going to just collect his paper and ride off. I think I'm worried about him. Like, let's face it, that Chaves fight had me a little worried about him. I mean, I think he was clearly robbed in that fight, but Bradley of 3 or 4 years ago doesn't even allow himself to get robbed. That's how dominant he would be against Chaves. So, like, I think he might know he's on the downswing, and he's just trying to keep and collect as much money as possible these last couple fights. And he's been getting paid a lot, so who knows?
Anyone else? Chew? Ari, you got any thoughts on it?
I hope he doesn't get Mosleyed.
Yo, that would be fucked up, right? Jin knew where all the money was. She was putting that shit aside.
He's setting himself up for it. She's the one controlling all the money.
Yeah.
Same thing happened to Mosley.
I don't know though. This is like a high school sweetheart type of thing that Bradley took in, even when she had like a baggage and stuff like that. So I don't see that happening. I don't know.
Well, she's definitely got baggage.
That's fucked up.
Low blow, Chew. Low blow.
One guy stopped listening to our podcast because we kind of shit on Monica a bit. Because I think
between him and Bika's wife, it was ruthless at one point.
Yeah, that one episode, yeah, we kind of hit everyone hard. Yeah, I think the guy that listened, he grew up with Monica and Tim, so I think he didn't like some of the stuff we said, which is fair enough.
To be honest, to be honest, like, I'm definitely sympathetic to that, but I mean, she's putting herself in the public eye. She's in the HBO documentaries. She's making fucking executive decisions on something that she has got no business making. She's not a fucking boxer, or she is literally the spouse of a boxer.
Yeah.
So
True, sorry to cut you off, but like,
go for it, man.
What's crazy is he was with Cameron Duncan for all those years. And he got that big mega deal to go to Top Rank while he was with Cameron Duncan. Got those Pacquiao fights. Got like $2 million to fight the Ghost of Casamayor. Made all that money. And then like a few years ago basically said, all right, Cameron Duncan, thanks for getting me all this big money fights and where I'm at today. Basically making me as one of the highest paid boxers, even though I can't draw flies to shit. And fired him and had his wife take over those duties. And like, to me, that was like, damn, that's pretty fucked up. Like, this guy built you up and helped you make all this money, and now you're cutting him loose and giving your wife the job. I'm like, oh well.
I think you're right. They're making a final cash run, aren't they? And keeping everything in the family.
Well,
which is fair enough. I don't see,
she's good at cutting things out, so maybe she could be the cut man as well. And they've got rid of the manager, the trainer.
Cam understands. If you don't have a wife, it's difficult to understand. They can fucking make you do whatever you want.
That's true.
Whatever they want you to do, man.
Like, logistically, he lives in the desert. So he's going to have to relocate. Or go away. Maybe this is what it is. Maybe he just wants to fuck off for a couple of months, get away from her. He's going to have to go to San Francisco if he wants to train with Virgil Hunter. Las Vegas if he wants to go to Freddie Roach. Teddy Atlas, he's not going to go to the desert, is he? So he's going to have to make some big changes if he wants to get a top-class trainer. And, you know, he had it comfortable with Diaz. So if he wants a similar kind of replacement, if he wants another run at glory, he's going to have to move. I don't think he will. I think he's going to get some 2-bit trainer. Maybe his dad, who knows.
I could see him going to Virgil, just because, what was that show where they both worked on together and they were kind
Under
of...
the Lights.
Under the Lights, yeah. What fight were they talking about?
Algieri Pacquiao.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Good memory.
they kind of seemed like they hit it off together, kind of like just their body language and the way they were talking to each other. I could see like Virgil like saying, "Yo, you know, if you come to my gym, like I'll show you how to improve this, and you could do this better, and blah blah blah." And like maybe some little whispers in his ears, and he's kind of turned his head a bit.
But my problem is, he had a good trainer, he was a good fighter, had a good style that could beat people, and then suddenly he decided, because 4 people booed him, he has to go to war in every fight.
Yeah, that's
but
true.
I think it's a mental problem with him. It's like he was a pound for pound fighter with a style that no one wanted to fight, and then suddenly he becomes a slugger. He's got no power. There's something that reason on fight fucked him up, you know.
Yeah, it's like a
That
Napoleon
fucking
complex.
Yeah.
Because even after the pre-fight going into the Vargas fight he was like, yo, I'm not getting these decisions. I got to start knocking people out, so I'm bringing the sledgehammer work back. I'm like, yo, you could use that sledgehammer all you want. You still ain't getting no power, bro.
You could take the sledgehammer in the ring and you still won't be knocking people out.
Yeah, unless you're bringing it in the ring, you ain't bringing no power with you.
Yep. All right. Ari,
I think, just before you go, Ari, I think Bradley would lose against Rios. I think Rios knocks him out.
Really? Nah, I think
that's bold.
I was gonna say that Rios is shot, man. Rios is shot.
But so's Bradley. He's on the way out.
He's on the way out, but he's not as shot as.
Put it this way: if that last kid that rocked him can rock him, then if Rios catches him like that, then he's in trouble.
If Rios comes in shape that he came in against Alvarado, even though Alvarado was a crackhead at the point, I think it'd be a fun fight because I think Bradley will go to war, and that's the fight that Rios wants. So I think it'll be an entertaining fight, even though it's not best versus the best like we want. But I think it would be a fun fight, especially but the problem is, what kind of shape is Rios going to be in since he's been fucking on the shelf for 8 months, you know? And that's another bad thing with Top Rank not being able to work with all those fighters on the other side, you know?
I think Bradley would skill Rios. I don't even think that'd be a close fight. I think Rios is really shot. I think he's not really got many fights left.
I think he can school him if he fought smart, but if he fought like the guy who fought against Chaves and the guy who, you know, fought against Provodnikov, then it could be a closer fight than expected.
What fight are you getting that's making you say that Rios is really shot? What are you basing that on?
Just a combination of his last few fights, his decline. I just think if
he was losing to Chaves, and
who's no mug,
but you know, I think Bradley beat Chaves, didn't he? Although he got that funny draw, but they're both on the way down, so it's actually quite a good fight because they're probably declining at a similar speed. So you know, Bradley goes in as a favourite and should win, and Rios might be able to beat him. I'm happy with that fight.
The only sticking point that I read on Boxing Scene is Saddam Ali. I think they might have to try and give him step-aside money.
He said he won't take it, though.
Yeah, that's the issue, so that's why the fight.
That's good. I hope he sticks with it. I'd rather see him fight Bradley than Rios.
Or make him drop the belt and then they can have their showtime. Yeah.
Or make them drop that belt that they shouldn't even have. Real.
True. All right, let's move on. Unless anyone else has got any final points about this. Right.
Nah.
Next topic of discussion is Brook versus Diego Chaves finally being announced. It's a shame that it's kind of combined with this pay-per-view card. I know most of you guys are not happy about it. I've not heard the exact cost of the pay-per-view. Leon, do you know how much it's going to cost? Or have they not announced
It'll be $19.99 or something, or $19.95, I imagine. They can't charge us more than they charge us for Frotch, can they?
I don't know if I'll buy that. I don't know if I'll buy that. I'm not sure yet. I'll have to. Sometimes though, like the closer the fight gets, and I think, well, I want to watch HD and I don't want to watch a stream, and then I might just fucking give up and buy it. But it all depends on the undercard. Is the undercard being announced for the Brook undercard?
Nah. That won't be. All
that undercard will be weak.
Yeah, all his fighters are in good fights. So, unless they try and slip De Gale in there for a little warm-up.
They won't put De Gale on that.
No?
No, I don't think so.
But that's the only person I could think they could put on from the stable to help it. They'll have Murray in a final eliminator, won't they?
He hasn't. The funny thing is, he won't even get a final limit because he hasn't fought anyone ranked.
They'll find a way.
He's just trying to get a voluntary off Abraham, I guess. I wouldn't mind him getting that because Abraham's kind of shot, but
that's a decent fight, but he doesn't deserve.
Yeah, it's a good fight as well.
He doesn't deserve a title shot. What has he done after his loss to Triple G? Nothing. Beat up a couple low grade opposition.
Exactly.
Doesn't deserve a title shot. But I think the only reason he's kind of going down that route because he's mentioning. Have you noticed there's been a shift of the way Murray and Hearn have been talking? When he first signed to Matchroom, he was talking like De Gale and maybe Groves, if Groves got the title. And then ever since De Gale signed to Heyman, now he's focused on Abraham.
Yeah, because it shows Hearn has nothing to do with De Gale's career no more. He says he's still, their promoter, but that's really only a name.
Yep.
I think it's a lack of loyalty on De Gale's part, on Selby's part.
But really true. Was it a lack of loyalty when Ricky Burns left for Hearn? Let's not forget, Hearn did the same thing to Warren. Half of his fighters were Warren fighters.
Yeah, but
he glassed. Let's keep it real. He glassed Hatton, Crawler, Quigg. Do I have to keep going?
Okay, I get some of the other examples you gave me, but you can't use Ricky Burns as an example. Frank Warren paid him fucking Tic Tacs.
He waved Sky Sports in their faces. They took it. Heyman's waving PBC in their faces and big wages. They're doing it. I got no sympathy for Hearn. It's a business. He did the same thing to them other British promoters. Look at Hatton. They left Hatton out on the streets.
I can't believe you're defending Al Heyman.
So Hearn did the same thing. This time 3 years ago, it was Hearn doing the same thing. Every week he was announcing a new person.
Yeah, but okay, but that's unprecedented that an American promoter would come and meddle in British affairs. You know what I mean? These are like.
And you say De Gale, one thing, De Gale never got that Frotch fight he was promised. And I'm sure that was the reason he went as well. Because, Frotch messed him around for a whole year. Think about it. He messed him around for a whole year. Then he finally got his vacant shot. And he didn't even get it in his own country. He had to go over there and won it with Heyman paying his. Remember, Heyman paid the contract. It wasn't Hearn.
That's what you think he might.
And Heyman must have gone to him and said, "That could be your regular purse."
All right, okay.
Can I stay with him?
I'll give you that. I'll give you that one, Ari. Okay.
Yeah,
I'll give you De Gale. Okay, maybe you can make an argument that. Okay, because he never got the Frotch fight, maybe he felt disgruntled, so he fucked off to Heyman, but Selby's got no excuse. No, Selby got a world championship off Hearn. He got him against the weakest featherweight world champion, the only guy who could possibly beat. You know, he's not fucking beating the rest of the featherweight guys.
Trust.
So
If he
why?
is.
No, he's not beating Lomachenko.
He might not beat
Beat Russell.
Lomachenko, but beat the rest.
Who is the rest?
He beat Russell, Leo Santa Cruz. No problem.
You think so?
Easy.
Not easy, but he beats them.
I'm saying easy. No, but I think he beats him. Not easy, but no, he beats those two. And the problem is there's no featherweight, so that's such a heavy, rich division, and all the fighters in the state. Selby had to take him. He had to do it. Hearn was never going to get those guys over here. So he was always going to have to go over there. So why be against the guy? You might as well be on his side. You know what I mean? Why go up against Heyman if you're going to have to go there anyway?
Well, the proof is in the pudding. When I see Lee Selby and DeGale on an Eddie Hearn pay-per-view card, then that's when I know it will not be a problem. But like you guys have been saying, these guys are not on Eddie Hearn cards anymore, so clearly they're no longer Eddie Hearn's fighters.
No.
Kind of diverted after the fight. I've said it before. I think Brook Chaves is a decent fight.
Sorry.
No, don't worry about it. It's good to drift off sometimes.
How did we divert?
We always do that. We like start off with one topic and end with another topic. But yeah, I think it's a decent fight. It's definitely a step up to Frankie Gavin and Jojo Dunn. I don't think Chaves beats Brook though. I watched Chaves Thurman again this week. I had a bit of time. He makes a lot of mistakes. He lunges in with his punches. The only way I can maybe see him beat him is maybe get a lucky punch, get Brook hurt, and maybe jump on him. Apart from that, I think he's going to try and make it a dirty fight like he's tried to do in other fights that he's been in, like against Bradley and Rios. For the people that are saying, you know, Hearn's made a really good fight, because from what I've seen on social media, there's a lot of people shitting on the fight, which I think's a bit unfair, and a lot of people kind of like bigging up saying it's really good, which I think's not right either, because I personally think the only reason why Hearn has made this fight is because Chaves is a decent guy with decent names on his resume. Obviously, he's not won those big fights, Thurman, Rios. The Bradley was a draw. I think he lost that fight quite convincingly. But I think he's cheap. Like, I think he got pittance against Bradley. I think he got pittance against Rios. And I think that's the only reason why Hearn's bringing it. Because we've said in the past, Hearn's a bit of a cheapskate. So, you know, that's perfect. Perfect for Hearn. You know, Chaves is not asking for a lot of money. He can sell it off. Or he drew with Bradley and whatever. And that's the main reason I think that Hearns chose to bring Chaves over for Brook.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said.
Yeah. It's just a good defense. It's the kind of defense that you expect from a champion. There's nothing, you know, it's top
solid.
10 role.
That's all it is. It's solid.
Yeah, it's just solid opponent.
Not pay-per-view.
It's not like Brook's still a heavy favourite. If Furman and Bradley, because you know Bradley did beat him, if Furman and Bradley can both beat him, then Brook should. If he can't, then he's not as good as we think. Simple as.
Yep. Chu, any thoughts?
Yeah, I agree. It's all about whether he knocks him out, and if he knocks him out before Keith Furman knocked him out, then that's the only way that Brook's stock can rise.
Yeah, if he knocks him out in 6 rounds, something like that, he looks very, very good.
I think it's a risky fight in a lot of ways. I think a lot of American fans and fans who aren't from the UK are quite high on Brook. They like him, they like his style. And this is kind of like one of these fights where he's in a no-win situation. I think, you know, get a guy like Chaves, he can punch. He's quite lanky. He's got nothing to lose. You know, these Argentinian escapades, Eddie Hearn have backfired before. Who knows? I wouldn't say that Brook's definitely going to win. I think he probably will. I think he's struggling to make the weight. you know, he fucking blew up between the fights. Everyone's seen the pictures. You know, is there to be seen on Twitter. I just think that Brook is probably going to win, but man, he needs a big fight at that weight class, and otherwise he's not going to make it anymore.
I know what the chocolate brownie's all about now.
Right, anyone else? Should we move on?
Probably the most exciting thing Frankie Gavin's ever done.
The most exciting thing he's ever said.
He sounded excited as well.
I love it.
All right, should we move on? Let's move on. Anyone want to tell All Access? I watched it last night.
No.
Same old shit, to be honest. Nothing new.
There was nothing to it.
The only nice thing was Floyd's new Koenigsegg CCRX or whatever it's called, man. That was quite nice. But apart from that, if you're a car guy, you'll know that car. If you're not, then let's move on. Just quickly want to shit on Frank Warren again. I think this is like a weekly segment, the shit on Frank Warren section. Billy Joe Saunders, Andy Lee postponed again. What the fuck? Why can't Frank Warren have a card where there's no pullouts or no changes or nothing? What's going on?
The cut looks legit, to be honest, unless they done a hay.
Yeah, man, they got the razor blade out.
Does anyone know who did that to him? Does he come out? Who was sparring for him with?
You know what? Don't quote me, but I heard in the interview, because I listened to the interview, but I wasn't really listening properly, but I'm sure he said Jake Bull. I don't know if anyone in the comment section heard it. I think that's that guy, that new guy who just signed with Matchroom. I don't know, it might not be him. I might even be getting the name wrong as well.
Bull? You sure?
Yeah. The one who just, McDonnell trains him. Same guy trains the girl. I think it was him. I'm not, don't quote me.
Yeah.
I'm guessing.
But
yeah, apparently got caught by an elbow. They were sparring and he elbowed him from the hook.
He didn't get chinned or anything.
No, it was an elbow, accidental elbow.
Yo, I'm a big fan of Booth. I've said it before, man. But every time he's involved in some certain big UK fights, man, there's always some fucking cloud hanging over the fight. Like, this is the second postponement. First one, Andy Lee's got a virus, and now Billy Joe Saunders has picked up a cut.
And Liam Smith, they fucked around Sorrow on the money, so it's kind of 3 fights that are fucked up.
You know,
Yeah.
Frank Warren fighters are a bit like porn stars. They keep pulling out.
I watched a iFilm video with Warren. It was pretty decent, about 30 minutes long, and he was clearing up a few issues with the Coogan, and he was saying, that was more on Top Rank and Bob Arum, like the situation with Sorrow. So he was trying to kind of disassociate himself with that. But man, you can't be presenting fights and making billboards and selling tickets off the back of certain fights. If you're not 100% confirmed. He said we had a written agreement with Bob Arum and Top Rank, but fuck, man, just wait a couple of weeks until it's 100%. Frank Warren is just the worst at announcing fights before they actually get made. Look at all the bullshit we had last year when we were trying to go to this Billy Joe Saunders and Eubank Jr. fight. Is the fight's on, the fight's off, the fight's on, the fight's off, and you paid your money. The last thing you want to hear is the fight's off, because Frank Warren's robbing your fucking booking fee.
He's living off booking fees at the moment.
Fucking, I think booking fees are the only thing that keeping Box Nation afloat.
So, okay, educate me on that. Booking fee, what do you mean? Like, I'm vague. Vague to it.
If you buy some tickets to go to a boxing event, the ticket might cost, for example, £50, and you have to pay another £7 or £8 booking fee. But if the fight gets cancelled or the card gets cancelled, you'll get that £50 back, but you won't get the booking fee back.
What a dirty cunt.
And the booking fee is a percentage usually. So on like a £400 ticket, the booking fee might be fucking £80 or something like that.
Slimy bastard.
Yeah, it's dodgy, man.
This is probably like, they never intended to fight. I think they're friends.
Just making money off the booking fee.
That's it, man. It's like, they're probably going to the pub and just having a laugh about it.
you think it's like a gypsy hustle? He's all fucking hustling everyone.
Probably. I mean, what can you say? I'm gutted for Saunders. But then again, I probably think Saunders is in it. So
Do you think like Billy Joe Saunders will be a guy that never gets a title shot? Do you think he like always miss his opportunity for a title shot? Because he turned down the IBF, didn't he? And then Lemieux took the place, and then obviously Lemieux beat Endam. So looking back, maybe you should have fucking took the IBF title route.
Well, all roads now lead to Golovkin. So if you're going to be the world champion, you're going to have to beat a guy like Andy Lee, because you're not beating Golovkin. So I mean, I think this is a big mistake from Saunders' part if he had a role to play in the cancellation.
I don't know. I just see now this fight being cancelled twice. I just see like Andy Lee going into a different direction now. I don't see this fight happening now.
Yeah, I definitely don't see it.
Yeah. The first pullout was definitely fake. Because they said he had a virus. And then 3-4 days later, he's there at the press conference for the announcement of the Manchester. You know, how's he got virus, but he's looking good? And he's there in the room with you. He looks completely healthy. He should still be sparring or whatever, training for the fight that's supposed to be happening a week later. So the first one's a clear pullout because the tickets weren't selling in Ireland. They thought they could, because, you know, Warren, the problem with Warren is he's seen Fortune Groves and he wants his own big, like, stadium fight. But every time he tries to make it, it flops.
Yep. I agree.
Yeah, I mean, just to finalise this, Saunders has always got the Eubank Jr. fight. That's like his money ticket. You can always go back to that fight. I just think he should have fought him when he was when to fight. I know that was maybe more Eubank Jr.'s fault than his, but you know, both these guys, Eubank Jr. and Saunders, all these Frank Warren fighters, they're not fighting.
That's what I was just going to mention to you, Chu. I find it a bit strange now, you know, how active Eubank Jr. was before. And after the Chudinov fight, you know, he's not fought, and we've not heard anything about him fighting. No fight's been announced, so I could see him leaving Warren soon as well. Maybe he's going to go to Heyman.
Heyman or Hearn?
I don't know. I don't think he'll go to Hearn, because I think there's always that tension between his dad and Hearn. I know Roos has told me stories about, you know, Eubank Senior was kind of looked, you know, down to Hearn as he's the child. You know, he can't run the business. You know, Barry's the boss of the business. So I don't know if he would ever go to Matchroom. You never know, though.
I think you'll land. You know, Joe came up with the rumor about him going to Heyman, but you could still see that being something that could happen.
I see that more credible because he's in the States a lot. He's in the gyms a lot in the States. He lived over in the States for a while, so I could see him signing to Heyman. I think he's the Heyman type of boxer as well. You know, he's kind of got that that kind of star attraction to him, and I know Heyman likes that in a lot of his boxers. So maybe, yeah.
He's a good heel. He likes a bad guy, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Make money off being a bad guy.
Yep. All right. Let's move on. Next week, I guess, man. So many fights this weekend. There's one gone under the radar a bit, obviously, with Floyd and fighting Berto on the pay-per-view, and that card's quite stacked. You know, it's a decent undercard, I think. We'll get into that, but I think a fight that's gone under the radar, which I'm looking forward to, is Chris Avalos versus, is it Jason Velez?
Oscar Valdez,
sorry.
That guy that Selby was sparring in that documentary.
Man. I'm looking forward to that fight. That's on Friday, I think, isn't it? On True TV.
Yeah.
That's the headline. I think it's similar time as the Stevenson Carpentier fight. But the Avalos Valdez fight, I'm looking forward to that.
So Avalos is the guy that Frampton knocked out.
Yep.
Right.
But I think he's still decent, man. I think I've seen bits of bobs of Valdez. Obviously, a few of his fights. I saw his last fight, and I saw the sparring session with Selby, man. And he kind of he gives Selby a good spar. Obviously, it's hard to tell with sparring, especially when we saw it in that BBC documentary. You don't know what the guys were doing the day before. Selby could have had an 8-round spar the day before, vice versa. So you never know 100%. But he gave Selby a run for his money. So if he kind of beats Avalos convincingly, man, could set up, and he could be another player in the featherweight division, because featherweight's strong at the moment. So yeah, that's the fight I'm looking forward to.
Who you got?
I've got Oscar Valdez in that one. I think he, like, Frampton was shaking Avalos, man, when he was hitting him with shots. So, and I know Valdez has got decent power. I don't think he'd stop him. I think maybe UD or maybe a late stoppage if he jumps on him if he's hurt. But I'll probably go for unanimous decision. And I think the Stevenson-Karpinski fight's a joke, to be honest. Like, Stevenson, I was high on Stevenson after he knocked out Chad Dawson, man, and he had a great year that year. Beat up Tony Bellew as well. That was nice to see. And then since that, man, he's fucking gone shit. He's just ducking everyone. His level of opposition, he's the champ, man. He's the lineal champ, and he's fighting guys like Tomoki Kameda, man. That he's a club fighter. He shouldn't be fighting guys like this.
Yeah, Stevenson, what can you say? This guy is just, I don't know, man. I mean, you could have had a linear championship. You could have had Kovalev, and then you've just kind of settled for this. What a shame. A waste of talent.
Yo, Cam, there's enough fights next week. Why are you even bother putting that Quillen fight in the league?
I just think because it's a name that people recognise, just put him in the league.
But fuck Quillen, man. No one cares for him.
You're just a Quillen hater.
I'm not a Quillen hater, but I just he likes collecting bombs.
Like he's got a sticker book
And he has
just
no
full of
shame
bombs.
about it as well.
I don't know. I just put him there because he's the name people recognise him. So.
But yeah, any of you listeners who still haven't signed up for the leagues, sign up this week. If you missed last week, you think, oh, I'm already behind. Sign up this week. There's like over 12. I'm counting at least 12 fights that Cam's pull up. So there's going to be a lot of changes this week. I'm still going to be top, of course, but there's going to be a lot of changes. So definitely get in, man. Bragging rights. Everyone always brags about, oh, I predicted that. Well, join the league and we'll see if you really do get your fights right. You know what I mean? So
it's true, and you can't hide behind it as well because they're all logged. So if you've made a prediction now, it's in stone. You can't change it afterwards. You can't say, "Nah, man, I didn't predict that. I predicted the other." Nah, man, it's all in stone. We can see what you predicted.
And I'll tell you, the other good thing about it is it improves fights. Because I don't care about Bundred Charlo. But because there's points on the line, I'm interested. I'm going to go and find out who won that fight.
You have to do a bit of research, possibly.
Exactly. it improves a shit fight.
Yeah. Like, today I was looking at Bundred. He's not fought since he beat... the
Mexican geezer.
Molina.
Yeah,
Molina.
He's not fought since that fight.
No, he's getting taken out.
To be honest, if you have to do research on these fighters to make a good pick, then you probably won't play. Because who wants to do research on fucking Charlo and Bundridge?
It's not about research. It's about just going, I've got something to care about during this fight that no one cares about.
Yeah.
My 60 points are on the line.
Have you guys noticed though, like, if there's a fight that you predicted like UD for, and the guy's getting hurt in the second round, you're like, oh shit, man, I fucking dropped loads of points in this one. It happened to me in the Darrell Rubio fight. Like, in the first few rounds, it looked like he might have get him out of there, and I was like, oh shit, I've gone for UD. A few other people were tweeting me as well, thinking, oh, I've gone for UD now, I've lost all these points. But luckily, Rubio held on and got me the 30 points.
I mean, fucking terrible. Terrible fight though. Fuck.
Oh, terrible fight, but I got the point, so I don't care.
I mean, I suppose every cloud has a silver lining.
Exactly.
That's Chew being positive.
That fight was nothing but depression. Depression in 10 minutes. Or 10 rounds even.
Yep. Alright, so the Stevenson Carpentry undercard, we got Errol Spence Jr. versus Chris Van Heerden. You guys want to talk about that, or should we just leave it? I ain't gonna lie, I've not really seen much of Chris Van Heerden. I'm high on Errol Spence, but I kind of want him to step up a bit. I don't know if this is a step-up fight.
It's a small step. It's a baby step.
Do you think...
Who is Chris Van Heerden? Is he like Amish or something?
I think he's South African.
He's South African. He beat Matthew Hatton before the title.
Yeah.
Matthew Hatton's last fight.
So is that his best win, Matthew Hatton?
Yeah, that's
his
his best
win.
win.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, he's getting destroyed in his...
Shit.
And the fight was close as well.
You know, this is 3-rounder, man. I'm picking Spence third round knockout.
Yeah, I've got Spencer on 5-6. I think I'll put it.
All right, let's move on and forget that shit.
Oh, wait a minute. This is the guy Brook was meant to fight. Is that not right?
Nah, Brook was never gonna fight him, but there was Twitter rumors are.
Now wasn't Thingy supposed to fight him? Gavin.
Yeah, that's it. Gavin was supposed to fight him, and then he
The eliminator.
pulled out to get the Brook fight. Yeah, in the eliminator.
Yep. All right.
Spence is going to destroy him.
All right. Fuck that shit. Let's move on. Saturday is the main day. Mayweather, Berto. It's not a fight I'm high on, but I'm kind of looking forward to. It's a Mayweather fight. There's always a bit of aura around a Mayweather fight. The undercard's decent. We've got Badu Jack versus George Groves for the super middleweight WBC title. Got the rematch with the Roman Martinez versus Orlando Salido, the creep, as Chew likes to call him, for Martinez's WBO title. We got Varnes versus Ishe Smith. I kind of like Varnes, that's why I put it in the prediction league, but Ishe's a boring fighter. I know.
I'm not gonna lie, that's gonna be that fight could send me to sleep, and I might miss the Floyd fight live.
I'll phone you and wake you up.
Live.
I'm telling you, that fight is gonna put me to sleep.
Which fight?
Varnes versus Ishe.
It's not on the televised.
Oh, God.
Not televised, is it?
I think it's the first fight.
It can't be. I thought it was only a free card fight.
Oh, is it a free card? Oh, okay, then no, it's not.
I thought it was.
It's going to be on Showtime or Showbox or one of them.
Yeah. Show Extreme.
So, the card has got Shallow and Bundridge, and also...
No, I don't think that's on the card.
No, that's the NBC card, too. That's on during the day. That starts at 4 p.m. Eastern, so for us that'll be about 9 o'clock, but it'll be around the same time as the Joshua fight's happening, so...
Again, they knew they couldn't put that on too late.
Yeah, so
they can't.
They
can't put that on the same time as the Matt Rosian fight. I mean, or the same card. I mean, fucking hell.
The fight of the week is Badu Jack vs Groves, man.
Yeah, let's discuss that a bit, man, because it's a fight that we've not really discussed over the last few months. It was supposed to be maybe in August, and then it got pushed back to the Floyd undercard. So I'll start with you, Harry, man. Who you picking? How do you see the fight playing out?
It's funny, I still haven't picked no one yet, but I have to think back on Groves' performance since he got cobra'd, but at the same time, I've never really rated Badu Jack. It's really a true 50-50, where you still don't know who's like where like the Fielding versus Smith card's called who's fooling who. I feel the same way with Badu Jack and Groves.
Oh,
they've both showed glass, but
yeah, but
whose glass will hold up? Whose glass will hold up the longer? That's the question.
Yeah, we should get a sponsorship from like a window company.
Look, I'm sorry.
If this was his own card, yeah, it should be called "Whose glass is stronger."
Don't throw stones if you live in the glass.
Can Groves survive the Cobra?
Yeah.
Look, I'm sorry. Bumdu Jack got glassed by a journeyman. He got glassed by a journeyman. Groves got knocked out by a world-class fighter.
But he hasn't looked good since. That's the problem.
Yeah, but what's Bombu Jack done? We just saw what Anthony Durrell's up to these days, playing with his fucking food. You can't, you know.
True. That's why it's a true 50-50. They both.
That's not, man.
They're both suspect. It's really hard for me to pick. So who are you picking?
Groves will knock him out inside 5.
Yeah, I think it's a tale of two halves. I think it's either Groves early, or Jack will catch him gassing.
What about you two?
Man, I'm not gonna lie. You see, I was saying about fights. That's a good one we got coming, and it's a one where we don't know what's gonna happen. It's not like a champion versus a crap guy, like for example the headliner. Even though Berto's not a crap guy, but Berto's shot. But this is a true 50-50 where I don't know who's gonna win, and I'm looking forward to it to sit down and be like, who's gonna win this shit? You know what I mean?
I'm actually kind of hyped for this fight.
Yeah, it's a good fight, man. It is a good fight, even though I said he's a bum.
Your boy called it glass warfare on fucking the chat. That's the line. That's the line of the chat.
Yeah.
Danny Yankee.
Good one. Danny Yankee. I've never even seen him in the chat before. Good one, Danny Yankee. Glass warfare.
Yeah, but Groves got knocked out and put on his back. That Badu Jack was surfing. Like, I was like, the fucking.
Badu Jack just got caught cold.
Yeah, but the difference is one of them got
quality.
glassed in front of 80,000 in London.
But also, I have heard Badu Jack got knocked out in sparring by Jamie Cox.
Who's that?
Guy.
Oh yeah, that young kid.
Who?
Signed Warren.
Just signed to Warren. Amateur.
He's always sparring in Floyd's gym. He spars with Floyd sometimes as well. I think I'm not. Don't quote me on that. But he spars over there in America, and he knocked out Badu Jack apparently.
Yo, see, after what happened to Durrell at the weekend, my opinion Badu Jack has kind of went down a bit. I think anybody could have beat him. Durrell, that is. And I'm not as high as Badu Jack. I was never really that high on him, but I just think that Groves is just a superior fighter. And I think he's going to knock him the fuck out.
My boy Jameson Rocket, whose opinion I usually respect highly, was talking about Badu Jack if he wins being fighter of the year. Is that true?
Yeah, but he was on
Christ.
he was on crack last night because he said that Martin Murray looked really good.
Well, he was sending shockwaves through the fucking 68 division, bro.
He sent some through Jameson.
Shockwaves.
How much? Did anyone count? Sorry, I have to go back. Did anyone count how much times that guy went down?
7.
Yeah,
7 times.
That was the rules.
I was sure it was over 10. I was sure.
That fight was terrible.
And the worst thing is, and guess who the ref was? Howard Foster.
Oh.
The guy, he loves to stop a fight, but for some reason he didn't want to stop that one.
All right, let's get back on track. Kev, Badu Jack, George Groves, who you got?
I'm hoping for George Groves. I mean, I was on a fan of George Groves for that hype and publicity during the Cobra fight, but this is my last stand with him, man. If he disappoints me now, I disown him. I mean, he hasn't looked good. He looked really bad versus Mama's Boy, and he didn't look too good in the other fight. I don't know what order it was. If it was, he had Mama's Boy second and the other guy first, but he hasn't looked good in both fights, and maybe it's fighting down to the level of competition or whatever, but I think one thing about Groves is I do think he could crack, and if he catches Badu Jack early, I think he wins. In the prediction league, I'm going to take Groves, but just because I can't think that anybody I liked at one time is going to lose to Badu Jack again, like Anthony Durrell did. Fuck, I'm a mush, man. I don't know shit about boxing.
If Groves can fight anywhere to the level that he did in the first Froch fight, man, he should take it easy. But like you said, against Red Brass and Dennis Duglin, he didn't look that good, and I don't really rate Paddy as a trainer, to be honest. And
sometimes, Cam, these guys, and it happens in other sports too, they get really geared up for one opponent or one time, and they really shoot their load. Like, that's all they have to offer, and you never see that guy again, or that performance again. And I think that might be the truth about Groves right now, is basically that was all he had to give, and he still got cobra'd, and now he don't have it left anymore.
yeah,
like
possibly.
He's digging for it, and it's not there.
Yeah, possibly. You may be right. It's just like Groves pre the Frotch fights, man. Like he was hitting hard. Like his movement was good. He seemed more heavy-handed, but since then it's definitely lack of confidence. It seems like his confidence has gone a bit. And again, I don't rate Paddy Fitzpatrick as a trainer, and maybe I'm giving Paddy too much negativity. Maybe it's more down to Groves himself, because Groves does seem the type of guy that he's a bit of a control freak almost. You know, he wants to manage himself, and like he might even not take much of Paddy's training on board. He might just do his own thing and just think fuck it. Groves does seem a bit like a know-it-all, like you can't tell him anything. So maybe that's the issue.
And the guy's condition is just not that good. And if you're going to win, if you can't knock out Badou Jack and he's going over in Badou Jack's card, like, he's going to have some good rounds late to make sure he wins the fight clearly. And I don't know if he could turn on the second gear, you know. I mean, I guess people were encouraged that he was running up driveways for his hill sprints, but I don't know. I don't know if that's going to be enough. Like, he looks in good shape. Like, he looks the part, but I don't know if it's his nervous energy or whatnot, but he never really seems to have much gas past the 8th round, you know?
The thing is, like, you can't even say Frotch took his soul, because ginger people don't have souls. So that was terrible. That's right. No, that was a terrible joke, man. That was terrible. I apologize to our ginger people.
See what
factually correct, but terrible joke.
See what I've been hearing? I've been hearing George Groves has been sparring with Golovkin a lot. I wonder why. Maybe just to kind of...
Sorry, go on, Chu.
Maybe just to pick up the kind of mannerisms that Golovkin's got. Like, Golovkin doesn't expel a lot of energy. He kind of keeps conservative with his movement. Maybe he just wants to see that kind of firsthand and think, oh, maybe I could learn how to kind of move around the ring like he does.
But I see it a different way, and I was actually going to bring up that about Groves sparring Golovkin quite a lot, and I see it as maybe that's not good for his career.
How could it not be good, training with and learning from probably the best guy?
And he's most probably beating him up.
But he don't go hard like that on guys.
We don't know that. We don't know that.
Yeah, I don't think he does, yeah.
Yeah, I know Darnell Boone's over there going in there for this camp as well, and I know of Sullivan Barrera being in there. Like, he puts those guys in like the waist things to protect their ribs, but he trains as much as, like, he teaches as much as he beats the shit out of people. Like, from what I've heard, he doesn't really go hard on people like that, because Abel Sanchez basically told him, if you do, you're going to be running people out of camp and you're never going to get good sparring. And if you see the people that he has, they keep coming back, like the Julian Jacksons and stuff like that.
Can I say one thing?
Yeah.
It's just said in the chat, and I remember hearing this, that Groves, Golovkin cracked his rib.
Oh, wow.
And that was why he didn't look good in the Rebrest fight. Apparently he had a damaged rib in that fight.
You've seen the videos, though. People usually wear those flap jackets, those rib protectors against them.
Golovkin's power is something different, and, you know, when it's someone like Groves who is fragile, let's keep it real, maybe that's not good for him.
I think Golovkin's like a guy who, okay, as long as you leave him alone, he'll leave you alone. I think maybe Groves got a bit cheeky, a bit uppity, and Golovkin had to put him in his place with a couple of punches, and that's how he got the injury.
I love the way Chu says cheeky. He's
a bit abrasious, this Groves. He just needs to kind of learn his place and learn from the master.
Instead he got good boyed.
Exactly. Crack ribs and everything.
All right, let's move on. Mayweather, Berto, man. I'd love it if Berto just got some lucky shot, just knocked him out. Ain't gonna happen. I'm not gonna pick Berto.
You know how pissed I am that there's actually a decent undercard on this fight since I'm not ordering it? I'm like, these motherfuckers, man. I wouldn't mind seeing these fights, except I'm not paying $80 to see these fights.
Fuck it, man. Order it, man. Get some friends around, get the poker game going.
Oh, man, I'm in a new house now. I don't think that's flying over here with the wife.
Wifey gonna kick you out.
That's it. It's gonna be a short-lived union.
Shit. What's your guys? Do you see it as a boring fight? Do you think it's going to be any
I think
drama?
he'll turn up. No, I think you actually get him out of there.
What do you
You know,
think?
actually, I
My
think Virgil.
God, Floyd fans say that shit
No,
every fight.
I
This
think
is the fight. He's gonna get him
See,
out
wait,
of there.
I'm not. Yeah, I know. They say that every fight, but I'm not saying like he. When I meant it like I think Virgil will stop it because Floyd was probably gonna beat him up. You know.
Nah, like your Virgil didn't stop it when he was one-armed against Soto Carrasco. He's not going to stop it if he's two-armed against Floyd.
You'll just be getting tattooed.
Be great for me, son.
I
Be
think he'll
great.
stop it. Well, anyway, I'm putting in the league. Actually, I'm not even gonna sit around, but I'm saying stoppage because I need to get ahead, man. I'm not giving guys picks no more.
Check you out protecting your fucking predictions and shit.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm getting my crown back.
Harry's taking it serious, man. He wants to be a 2-time champ. Chew, what do you think? Easy fight for Mayweather?
Yes, but I definitely think Mayweather is going to retire after this one. The recent history of boxers retiring has been like guys like Joe Calzaghe, Lennox Lewis. And once they're retired, for the most part, they're retired. Especially the guys who have got undefeated records. You know, the Swanockas, the Joe Calzaghes, even Lennox Lewis. I know he got beat, but he beat everyone who beat him. So he stayed retired. I definitely think the fear of losing has kind of played its toll on Floyd. That's why he's picking Andre Berto. He's like, finally, I'm at the destination's end. I can fucking chill out a bit and fight Andre Berto. But, you know, the fight itself, no one really gives Berto a chance. You know, even if Mayweather's faded, he'll still beat fucking Andre Berto every single day of the week. Anytime. And I'm not going to watch that. That's why fucking Mayweather knows that. That's why the undercard's so stacked. You know what I mean? He's trying to give the punter some value for money, but I'm not going to watch that fight, man. Fuck it.
Is it stacked though? Because like, I know over here Groves versus Jack is a big fight, and is it really a big fight in the States?
Yeah, but I think they're hyped for Salido versus
Martinez, the rematch.
Yeah, that was a good fight the first time.
Yeah,
that's the best fight.
That's a big fight over there in America, I guess. I don't really care for either of them, to be honest. But, you know.
Well, when I say stacked card, I mean competitive fights.
Yeah.
Like, I see a lot of 50-50s in there. Like, I mean, you're crying out for a 50-50 fight all year, and then you've got 4 on the same card.
It's quite ironic.
Or maybe not free. Maybe not free. Oh, sorry, free. Let's say free 50-50s on that card.
That Martinez-Salido fight was, basically a fight of the year candidate. Now it's a rematch. Jack Groves is a decent fight,
Don't forget about my boy Ishe Smith, man.
Oh my God, that's NyQuil.
That'll
put you to sleep.
That's Ovaltine.
That's worse than that. That's like that's like meth or something that will fuck you up and make you feel horrible.
Getting roofied.
Yeah, you'll wake up. And go, what did I just go through? What happened here?
No memory of the last 24 hours.
Yeah.
Leon, what's your thoughts on the Mayweather fight? Easy win.
Yeah, easy win. I think he might stop him. I think there's a good chance he will, and I think he will retire. So this is our last chance. I'm gonna miss the fucker when he's gone.
Why do you guys think he will retire?
Because that's the kind of he'll just do it, kind of like
he does it as like a fuck you to everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I can do this. This is what I do.
Exactly.
Doesn't matter. I'm better than my legacy. Kind of, I don't think he gives a shit really. So but I can feel my salt levels dropping every minute as we get closer and closer to the retirement. It's a shame. I am going to miss him when he's gone because I need to get my hate out somewhere.
I think he comes back in like 2 or 3 years after he just sees his money going down and down and down and down. And even though I'm not saying he's going to go broke or anything like that, I'm just saying he has no other income outside of when he fights. So once you start spending at the rate he's spending, you buy a couple $2-3 million cars, rent out all this shit. You have a $12 million year where you spend money, and he could easily spend $1 million a month. That, you do that for 2 years, and you watch basically a whole fight check, basically 2 fight checks when you include what he pays in taxes disappear. He might start thinking about a quick little $30 million comeback,
I actually think his last fight will be a Pacquiao rematch, just because of the money and just because I think he's fought him once. You kind of beat him easily and think, why not do it again? Make another 300 million.
Nah, that be back.
Sorry, Chu, you broke up a bit then. What did you say?
Sorry, nah, he's going to come back for any Pacquiao fight, like the rematch, but I don't think he'll be back. I leave him. I think this is it. I think he's no more. Why would he come back? He's got no reason to do it. Really, it's like that famous saying, like, if you live long enough as the hero, you'll eventually turn out to be the villain. And I think the boxing fan just wants rid of him. Like, he's lost the fan, the boxing fan, his bread and butter. And the longer he stays, I mean, he's just going to harm his reputation with them. So I think he should go out now while he's got all the money. And, just invest that, keep that money safe. Don't come back. If he comes back, it's for financial reasons. And, just leave now. Well, the majority of fans, they kind of like him. I think of Floyd as a man. He's a great fighter. But if he keeps fighting guys like Berto, then, I'm going to think he's a shit fighter as well. So I don't want to see him fight anymore. Just retire. Just finish it.
Fair enough. Any final points? All right. Go on, Jim.
Yeah, just Lee Selby against Fernando Montiel. That is a fucking terrible fight. I'm sorry.
Did you wait for Joe to leave the show before you said that? Or?
I did.
It is a shit fight, but you kind of give it to him, after his first defense. You kind of let him have an easy fight for his first defense. I don't mind it, to be honest. Montiel was decent at lower weights, so.
I mean, he's 5'4". He's off at flyweight. He got his best run at bantamweight.
Is it just me? Is Chew breaking up for everyone else?
He's breaking up, yeah.
Yeah, Chew,
he's breaking up.
Chew, do you want to hang up and call back?
If it's your final thoughts.
No, it's not final thoughts. I'm just saying, just hang up.
We've got another car to go, haven't we?
Alright, I'll call back.
Alright, bro. Just while Chew's calling back, what do you guys think about this Montiel fight, Leon and Ari and Kev?
It's not a great fight, but it's his first, PBC thing, isn't it? So it's only like what Frampton got, isn't it?
Yeah.
But probably more difficult. So it's what we expected, really. He'll look good.
What about you, Ari?
I don't know too much about Montiel, to be honest. But,
Me either.
Other than apparently Donaire knocked him out in 2 rounds. So
Yeah, other than Donaire left hook making Donaire famous off of Montiel.
My boy Donaire.
So yeah, just get it out of the way. Hopefully we get some unifications in that featherweight division. That's what that great division is missing. We need to see some unifications, man.
Ari, do you think that's
Lomo?
Do you think that's the best division at the top of a division, like a top 5 in any division?
What? Yeah,
That featherweight division?
I'd say so. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Right, just messaged Rob Palmer. Palmer, if you want to listen and you want to jump on, call up. And we kind of finished on the Floyd card. Roman Martinez Orlando Salido fight. When I watched it a couple months ago when it happened, man, I had to watch a Spanish stream. I don't think any English broadcaster picked it up. So I enjoyed the fight. It's just hard to watch for me when it's non-English commentary, you know, because the commentary for me like helps make the fight. So if I can't really get into the commentary, then it makes me feel a bit excluded from the fight. Maybe I'll try and watch the first fight again this week when I get a bit of time before Saturday. But I'm sure it'll be a decent scrap. The Varnes Ishe Smith one, I just put that in because I kind of like Matt Erosion, so I put that in the prediction league. Just for the people at home in the UK, the Bundridge card with Charlo and Quillin versus Zafiro, that's NBC in the States. It's 4 p.m. Eastern. I think it'll be on about 9 o'clock in the UK. But as far as I know, no channels picked it up, so you'd have to stream it.
No, they can't afford that and the Floyd fight, can they, on the same weekend?
No, that Box Nation would go bust if they tried to do that. And yeah, so no channels picked that up, so you have to stream that shit. And at the same time, you got the London card with Joshua, Dave Ryan, Hibbert rematch, and I think is Dillian White on that card as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a lot of boxing this weekend, man. A lot of points to pick up in the prediction league.
Another weak Hearn card. Sorry to say, guys.
It is a week, and then we got the Liverpool card with Stephen Smith coming up as well, isn't it? That's a bit of a weak card as well.
It's a weak card, but we're getting Hibbert Ryan again, and that was a fucking great fight first time round.
Do you think it's going to be as good second time round, though, Leon?
No, I think Ryan will beat him easier.
Do you think so?
Yeah, I think so. But that was still my fight of the year.
It's definitely British fight of the year so far.
I know, because it's all about, you know, it's not the greatest level, but it's about, you know, fight of the year is about the fight, isn't it? Not about the two, how good the two people are fighting in the ring. And that was a great fight.
Yep. All right, we got my boy Rob Palmer on the line. Are you there, Rob?
What's up, guys? Hear me good?
Yeah.
That's a trilogy. That Ryan Hibbert's that's the third time they fought, actually.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
I thought it was a rematch.
No, there's a rematch this year. They fought last year, I think.
Shit. What happened in the first fight?
Ryan beat him, didn't he?
You'll have to, when they bring out the trilogy DVD, you'll be able to see it.
I'm buying that.
What do you want to talk about, Rob?
You know what? I mean, I think this could be Floyd's last fight as well. So, just I'm not going to be watching it. I've just got better things to do. Even though the undercards here, I mean, it's not even about the money. Just better things to do. Other things I could spend that money on than watching Floyd in a shit fight. And if it's just about the undercard, I'll just catch it the next day, download it. You know.
Are you joking, man? It sounds like you're kind of a bit trolling a bit.
No, I'm being dead serious. Like I've bought every. I buy all the pay-per-views when I was in England. I used to buy all the pay-per-views when I've been here. I buy them all. Like, but this I'm just not interested in it, man. I'm starting to feel a bit like Ari and Kev. You know what I mean? Like, I think sometimes, like, you got to take a little step back from boxing. Sometimes when you start to feel like it's shit, just take a step back, because really, when you look at it, like, it's no different, but I don't think it's any different to what it was like before. I don't think there's been this period, certainly when I've been following the sport as a hardcore, where it's been any better or worse than it is right now. But you just get frustrated with the bullshit, and you just have to step back, and then eventually you'll like it again, you know?
Rob, man, you've made me play this soundbite.
Go on.
Little step back, bang, bang.
Oh, man. What's it, you know what, the McDonnell fight, like, I wasn't really watching it properly, and so I was just going along with the CBS commentary and thinking that McDonnell was losing, and then I started checking, like, speaking to Ari on Skype or WhatsApp, and I started looking at the forums, and all the British guys were saying, oh, McDonnell's winning it easy. But isn't that strange how people can look at fights so different? Like, Kev, obviously you watched the US commentary. Like, how did you see the fight?
Of what fight?
The McDonnell Kameda fight. How did you score it?
I scored it for Kameda, but I watched it without the volume because I watched it late. So
Yeah.
I didn't put the volume on. I don't really like Virgil. I thought McDonnell came on too late. So even with the knockdown, I had him down like a point.
Don't lie, Kev, man. Wifey was doing something, you had to have the volume low.
You know, that's one thing about PBC. Like, there's not really been any bad decisions, has there?
Now, I think, like, when PBC first started, I thought, you know, Heyman's going to have the judges in his pockets, but the judges have been very fair in Heyman fights.
If anything, like, the other way, like, they're overly fair to the other fighters.
Yep.
You know, because if McDonnell had lost both those fights, I don't think people would be upset about it. They would be like, oh, well, he was unlucky.
Yeah, they were both very close fights. Americans seem to be getting upset about that one scorecard.
Yeah. You know, I was at the Mara Santa Cruz fight last week. I think everyone that was in the arena thinks that was fight of the year because the atmosphere was so good. It was like being at a fight in England. But everybody that watched it on TV just thought it was like a good fight, but not a great fight.
I enjoyed the undercard fight better.
Yeah, yes. I mean, I think so that's another thing. That Sager guy winning a WBC title at a higher weight makes McDonnell look good again. Like, if you think, like, he's beat now 2 guys that then went on to win world titles. Because Stuart Hall went on to win a world title as well.
Yeah, it does look good.
Yeah, but I don't think you could write Quigg off. I don't think you could write McDonnell off in a fight with Quigg, but I think Quigg's definitely the favourite.
Yeah,
For all the reasons you guys said.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
And I think underrated fight of the weekend that's coming up is that flyweight Charlie Edwards fighting for English title and only his 5th fight. That's good to see, like, them stepping him up into a title fight quite early on. Hopefully I know that the English title fights this weekend were pretty boring. Like, I don't really get into those fights. To be honest, I don't like any fighter I watch the fighters early on because I think, eventually this guy could be at world level. But none of those guys are ever going to fight for a world title, are they?
No.
But Charlie Edwards, like, he's got some serious talent fighting for English title in his 5th fight. That's good progress. It's good to see them taking his career seriously instead of just because he could just fight bums for 2 years and no one would really notice.
Yeah, no, I like him.
Is he not on a lot of IFL video? Sorry, Liam.
He's like he looks super young.
He's the one who has beef with that guy.
Yeah,
I
that
forgot.
Prince Patel.
Yeah, Patel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Edwards used to beat him up in amateurs, apparently.
Yeah, that Patel's all talk, isn't he? He's not actually.
Yeah.
Although, do you know what? Fair play to him for making, like, he's got to make a career for himself, hasn't he? So
Yeah,
he just
it worked,
kept
I guess.
mouth shut and got exactly. Yeah, it did work. What's it? I mean, you know, when it comes to this McDonnell Kameda scoring, do you think something needs to be done where? Because you can't have it. It seems like people are watching different things if they're scoring fights that differently. Sure, the rules of boxing need to kind of be cleared up to the point. I know it's subjective, but surely everybody needs to be scoring fights the same way. I think I've said this before where people say, oh, well, I prefer boxers, I prefer fighters of this style, but I think that's wrong. You can't really do that. You just have to watch the fight and score it.
Yeah, but
I think that's wrong.
I think probably the parameters are too flexible. There's nothing, it's difficult. There's not so little.
Even the criteria lends itself to be subjective. I think what you're saying as well.
I think subjectivity leads to corruption in a sense. It opens it up to be corrupt because even we're all hardcores. You could ask us what ring generalship means. We'll all come up with a different answer.
But that's the problem. It's a judgment, isn't it? That's the problem with any sport that's judged.
Yeah,
It's open to interpretation.
But I don't think, Leon, if you watch, say, I don't know, figure skating, there wouldn't be as much of a gap from one judge's score to like another judge as there is in boxing.
But Rob, that's the beauty of boxing. It's not figure skating.
Exactly.
I think it's a beautiful thing that everybody can see a fight differently.
This sport would be dead without it. We need that controversy.
Yeah.
It gets the fan kind of... Like, I think boxing podcasts, and I'm not just saying this because we do one, I think they're a lot more interesting than other sports to listen to because the fight is so subjective. So, it's really... I can't tell you how many times I've read something on a boxing forum or heard it on a podcast or seen it on Ringside or something where a guy's gave me an opinion on a fight. I've went back, I've thought about what he said, and I've changed my mind completely.
Yeah, that's
just because I'm looking at something else. I've been given advice on how to watch the fight, and then the ending is completely different. What other forms of entertainment, can do that? Where you go back and watch it a second time, and then you get a completely different aspect of it. That's boxing. It's like more layers.
Yeah,
that's a great thing, man.
There's so much risk and fragility in boxing, isn't there, in every department? That's having the odd, really bad scorecard is kind of part of the story of it. It is what it is, man.
It is the best fucking sport, isn't it?
It is for that shit, man. It's the best story.
Yeah, but like, I get hyped up about football and like other sports, but really, when there's a big fight on, and you're getting nervous and you're worried, you want to get all you want to go to the toilet about 15 times before it starts, so you don't need a piss during the fight. All that stuff, you're just hyped.
But Rob, I think you've just said something that's made me think about it. I think there should be there's 3 judges at ringside, but maybe sometimes the guy on the TV gets a better look at the fight than the guy sitting right next to the fight.
Oh, you know what? You're exactly right, because I was texting my mate during the McDonnell fight, and he goes, "Oh, how was that scored as a knockdown? It was clearly a slip." And I was like, "Well, you've seen 4 replays of it in slow motion. The referee's like at one particular angle, it's more difficult for them." I think it wouldn't be a bad idea if you took 3 judges and put them in like a soundproof booth, no commentary. They just watch the fight, or they could have it where there's a microphone in the ring so they could still hear the punches, but they're just watching the cameras and it's one angle, and that would be better and that would also take out the whole, because they always say like, oh, the crowd influences the judges and stuff like that.
I'm telling you, like, it moves fast. Like, when I watch sparring, especially for the first couple times, and I was like basically standing next to the apron, yeah. I missed a lot of shit just because it was moving at a different speed than I'm used to watching on TV. And even still, like, I would miss a lot. Like, I would hear the trainer talking in the corner in between rounds and mentioning some things that happened that I completely missed. So it's just it's a different thing,
How often do you see when you see a knockout and you go, "Oh, I missed that punch"?
Yeah.
Like, even when you're watching it closely, you sometimes...
Yeah, was that a right hand or was that a left hand?
Yeah, what the hell was that? Yeah. So, I mean, it must be such a difficult thing. I mean, especially if you're about 85.
Yeah,
I mean,
and the crazy thing is, though, like Rob said, like, you don't want to go to the bathroom, you want to make sure you're there. Like, I think boxing, like, lost that for me because nowadays there's just not a lot of power punchers, and I don't think the fight's going to be over at any time, so I could go take a piss and come back and hit the rewind button twice and catch what I missed. You know what I mean? Whereas when you're watching a Golovkin fight or a Kovalev fight or a Chocolatito fight, like, you see knockouts, like, like, you are on the edge of your seat because you've seen that. Like, watching that Maidana-Broner fight, my heart was pounding after that first punch buckled Broner, and he was in survival mode the whole time. Like, you know what I mean? And And every round and every minute is kind of like a 3-2 count in baseball in the playoffs, where it's hyped up and you're on the edge of your seat. But now with all these guys like the Lauras and the guy, just like that whole style now, and the safety first, barely punching, throwing 35, 40 punches around. Not many of them have bad intentions. Like, it's hard for me to feel that way about fights, and I think that's why I became disenchanted with the sport, and I don't watch it as much anymore, especially this year, since I'm tired of it. Like, I know it's going to be a 12-round decision, and it really comes down to what judges saw the fight, how they seen it, you know?
I mean, that's the issue when you like that Darrell Rubio thing. It's like, what's Darrell doing? He should have been getting him out of there. It's just, and he's meant to be a big puncher, isn't he? So we've been told. I mean, it was just depressing to watch that fight.
But it's like what, did you hear the interview with Errol Spence's trainer on The Voice, where he was saying, like, they're just basically athletes now, and they're not being trained properly.
Yeah.
So they don't know some of
That's a good comment.
Like, cutting off the ring, like, I know, say Mayweather gets a lot of the blame for, like, some of the style, but when Mayweather was fighting at super featherweight and lightweight, he was knocking guys out. It's only really because he's moved up that he's become super safety first, if you know what I mean. When he was at the lower weights, he could step on the gas and stop guys, get guys hurt.
It's also risk of losing, though, because Bernard Hopkins was the same. I fell in love with him when he was fighting on the lower level cards because he was exciting. He was throwing bombs, and he was the executioner. And he admitted he became safety first after the Trinidad fight because he didn't want to risk losing waiting to cash that lottery ticket that he won with that fight. Yeah. So then he put his offense in the deep freezer. And I feel like Mayweather has so much to lose now because so much of what he's built off is that he'll throw 35 punches around, throw 2 or 3 right hands that win the round, and everything else is just avoiding action and basically boring. And that's not him when you see him fight Corrales and those guys in the lower weights, where he would, and when he outclasses guys like Gotti and he walks forward and bangs them out, you know?
Maybe that's one thing that could come from the PBC is that one thing I've noticed is that if guys lose but put on a decent performance, they do come back.
Yeah, but if they win,
chances.
If they win and put on a shit performance, they still come back.
Yeah, I hear you.
So it's just the problem with their matchups haven't been good enough recently. That's all they need to sort out. The run of fights are about to go on is pretty horrendous, isn't it? On their side,
that Wilder card is pretty bad.
I mean, whatever Quillen thinks he's doing, I mean,
yeah. Well, Quillen's just a tune-up. Quillen's just a tune-up, isn't it, for Jacobs? I think
his career is the tune-up.
Yeah. You know what? When he was on the Boxing Voice, did you hear his interview on the Voice?
Oh yeah. He
was talking about, it's all about making the money. It's all about the making money. And I was thinking,
you turned down the money.
It's away from like $2 million. What are you talking about?
It's all about the right person's money.
Yeah.
All right, Rob. Quick question. You know, you said you're not going to buy the Mayweather pay-per-view. You're not interested about the Jack Groves fight?
You know, it's about. I've got other stuff going on that night anyway, so maybe if I had nothing going on, I would think about buying it. But I know I'm only going to watch it on the next night anyway, so I might as well download it for nothing.
Fair enough, I understand.
Spend $75 on McDonald's or something.
What the fuck are you buying from McDonald's?
50 double cheeseburgers, mate.
Shit.
Banging.
I thought you were going to say spend $75 on my wife, man. That would have been the correct thing to say. And then you showed this podcast from this exact timeline, and then she's in
the room next to me right now listening, so I can't give her any ideas.
Oh, fair enough. All right, let's move on.
She's giving evil looks.
Let's move on to the UK card. Joshua Cornish. Chew, can Scotland do it or what?
Oh man, we can't even beat Georgia.
Hey.
Nah, I'm first round knockout for Anthony Joshua.
Chew. Like, can you make me a promise?
And I'm not saying this guy's a bad fighter, by the way, but I just think Joshua's that good.
Chew, can you make me a promise? If Cornish wins, you have to get a Cornish haircut.
I can't even remember what the guy looks like, so there you go.
Take that bet.
Oh man,
Do it, Chew, do it.
I'm honestly not a degenerate gambler like that. Like, now, I'm just googling him to see what his haircut is.
It's the worst haircut.
If it's my normal kind of haircut, then
Time.
fair enough.
No, you'll
It's
be
like
shocked. You only see his
he's
hair.
got a ginger receding mohawk.
With like a
It's
Scottish
unbelievable.
flag kind of cut into it.
The Highlander.
Listen, say what you want. This guy's 6'10" or whatever he is. He's gonna. We've been complaining in the past, Anthony Joshua has not been fighting big guys. So, all right, this is why he's fighting this guy, big guy. I'm not saying he could. He's heavyweight boxing. He could land one punch and that could be it. So, I'm going to rep the flag, and I'm going to say that Gary Cornish will probably get knocked out.
How is that repping a flag?
But maybe he'll second or third. You know what I mean? This is his big chance.
Joshua came out to the Proclaimers in Scotland, so he's basically a quarter Scottish Jew. So take that. Take him.
There you go.
I don't know, man. Josh is going backwards for me, man. They need to start stepping him up now. Like, this Cornish fight is terrible.
I mean, it's a tune-up fight before the Dillian White fight, so...
Yeah, but you shouldn't need a
Why
tune-up fight.
As he need. Yeah, there you go. Cam said it. You don't need a tune-up for Dillian White.
Well, you do if your fight before that was so easy. Because I think Dillian White would... At the minute, he's fought short guys and small guys. Or short small guys. So, he's gone from there to Dillian White, who I actually think's a pretty good fighter. You know, if Anthony Joshua wasn't about, then he'd probably be the prospect that people are talking about. But he's not. Anthony Joshua's here. I think Anthony Joshua would probably beat Dillian White as well. Well, probably. He will beat Dillian White. But
The
the point
build-up.
is that he's gone from Kingpin to that. You know, like a safe fight to a dangerous fight, just like that. Then he probably needs as many fights as he can get before he fights Dillian White.
You said a safe fight to a dangerous fight. So you're saying the Kingpin fight was a safe fight?
I mean, Kingpin was shot. You know what I mean? I mean, he would have beat him anyway, but I definitely think a guy who prided himself on never being stopped before, well, it lasted at least a few more. You know what I mean? He was there to give Joshua rounds. He didn't.
Kingpin was born shot.
Ari, I know you said in the past, man, you're not happy with this fight, but do you want to give away your round in the prediction league, or do you want to keep that close to your chest as well?
Second round, but I might change the first after the weigh-ins.
When you
But
see
second round at the moment, it's just fight's pointless. Whole card's pointless in my opinion.
Who's Dillian White fighting now? Because Dominic
Brian Minto.
I mean, it's not good, but it's not bad, you know what I mean?
Ari, what do you think of Dillian White, Joshua?
Yeah, Joshua will win, but so it'll be a good fight, I guess.
The build-up will be better than the fight.
Hopefully his chin gets checked, and we'll get to see what he's got. But I still expect Joshua to win.
I mean, that's it. That's all I want to see as well. I want to see somebody land a punch on him who could punch. And if he passes that test, then I mean, who's going to stop him?
Just move him on, yeah. Just move him on.
Leon, what round are you picking?
I might pick the first 30 seconds of the first round. Honestly, I just thought I might have a little Google and have a look at some of Gary Cornish's fights. and every single one I've looked at has been filmed on someone's phone. I mean, so you might as well be fighting in pubs.
That's never a good sign, is it?
It's a horrible sign. I mean, yeah, he'll first round.
But Leon, can I just play devil's advocate to that?
Go ahead.
He might just end up being a complete beast.
You
never know. You never know. He's an unknown quantity.
I'm watching something now, and he's hugging a man. He's about 5'10", and that's what's happened for the last 2 minutes. So, no, he's doing nothing.
I mean, what height was Kingpin Johnson? He was about 6 foot.
Yeah, but at least his fights were on televised, professional television. It's just, I mean...
he's 6'4", sorry, Kingpin Johnson. That's a bad example. Sorry, Liam.
Yeah, it just seems... I didn't realise how lower down an opponent this really was. I hadn't really looked into him.
He's quite high, he's 6'10".
Well, you know what I mean, yes, thank you. I walked into that. Yeah, he's going to destroy him.
Alright, that's about it, to be honest, for our preview of this weekend's action. Unless you guys got anything else you want to talk about, should we get some final thoughts and get out of here?
Just remember, I'm in the Champions League places, and I'm going to be staying there.
Not bad for the first weekend so far. Rob, are you in third, is it?
Third place, Champions League.
Still behind Harry though.
I'm gonna get if I stay in those Champions League places, I want the Champions League music to be my theme song. That's
a good one, actually.
Oh, you know what's a good fight is Oscar Valdez against Avalos. I don't think anyone's talked about that. That's a good fight.
Yeah, I mentioned it earlier, man. I think that might be like. Yeah, I think that might be like the underrated fight of the weekend.
Yeah, a lot of good fights.
What's your thoughts on it? Valdez got easy, or
I think. Well, you know what? Because I saw Valdez live went on the Timothy Bradley undercard when he fought Vargas.
Yeah,
and I wasn't very impressed with him, to be honest.
He got dropped in that fight, didn't he? But I think it's a bit of a feet tangle, wasn't it?
Yeah, he just seemed like, for all the hype he was getting, because he was getting like hype like that Verdejo was getting, but I didn't really see it. And Avalos, I was quite high on, and then he got busted up by Frampton, but Frampton's legit, isn't he? So we'll see. It could be one that makes, if Valdez goes and takes him out, it makes Frampton's record look a little bit weaker than we thought it was.
Yeah, well, that's on True TV for you guys in the States, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't think it will get picked up. I think that's one you'll have to stream or download the next day.
Yeah, that's the next day job, I think. To be honest, though, the True TV broadcasts, they don't really get taken down from YouTube. So the last few I've seen when Shawnee Monahan was on it and a few others, the whole 2-hour broadcast is up on YouTube, normally in 720p, so that's quite decent. And Chew, I was talking to you during the week, a bit off topic, but one thing you wanted to give props to PBC for is, it's not like HBO or Showtime where a video goes onto YouTube the next day and then it gets pulled, and then someone else posts another video of the fight and it gets pulled. PBC fights are widely available on YouTube, and you wanted to give them props for that, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean, put it this way, like, all that weekend's fights will be on PBC YouTube channel by the end of the week. Whereas before, if I miss a fight, I'm scrambling. I'm really trying to find a place to watch it, especially in the days where we used to get off a couple of guys. Everybody knows who their name is. It was no problem. Like, you just click on the Twitter link. There's all the fights there for you. Now you need to kind of know a few websites. You need to go into a few forums and get it that way. But to me, it's not the same as, it's not as easy. And I think PBC deserve a lot of credit. We shitting them a lot, but it's easy as fuck for a fan to watch the fights. It can only be a good thing.
Definitely. Alright, let's get some final thoughts. Rob, you got any final thoughts for us?
Just don't know how I'm going to watch any of these fights this weekend. But
You
I'll
don't
try
know
my
how
best.
because of motivation or just because you're busy or?
Both. I'm looking at the prediction league and I'm thinking I'd like to watch all these fights, but I'm probably going to be able to watch just Groves. I hope Groves does it. Good luck to George Groves. He's one of the guys I've followed his whole career, and hopefully he does it. Brings that title home, reps the flag.
Cool, thank you, Rob. Leon, any final thoughts for us?
Yeah, just a question. Which Charlo is this? The feather-fisted one or the one he can punch?
It's the one that can punch, I think.
Okay.
Sure.
I never know which one, to be honest.
I don't know which one's which, but
No.
I'm told one of them can punch, so that might change my choice for the prediction league.
I think
One of them should just retire and go
Yeah.
away.
Bondridge is a G, man. He's knocking Charlo out.
Rob,
Yeah.
is it the one who beat Rosado?
I haven't got box rec in front of me, to be honest, so I don't want to commit to anything and be wrong.
Give me a sec.
It's a 50-50 shot.
I've got
The
it.
thing is, they could switch out. It's like sister. You don't know which one it is.
No, I've got it. It's not the one that beat.
Rosado, it's the other
No,
one.
it's the other one. His last fight was against Michael Finney.
See,
Oh, it's the one who was waiting on Molina.
Yeah.
Yeah.
see the thing with the Cello brothers is it's the same with any twins, like the Klitschko's. I hope they don't get to the top in the division, because if they get to the top, both of them, then they can't fight each other. You know what I mean,
Yeah.
that's the thing with the Klitschko's. They can't fight each other. They're the best, but they can't fight each other, and they just use each other to fight the guys that they think they'll beat them.
Yeah,
Like,
because you're right, Chu. Because Klitschko always gets credit for cleaning out a division, but he never did. I understand why he didn't, but he never cleaned out. He never beat the number 2 fighter of his era, which, in fairness, it was his brother, but he never did it.
Even like the Spinks brothers.
Yeah.
All right. Ari, any final thoughts?
No, yeah. Not really, no. But, we got a good fight week, I guess, coming up. A lot of fights. Yeah. It's that Showtime card. Would that be the same time as Joshua then?
The Showtime card. Which one are you talking
Or
about?
whatever card is.
You mean the
The
NBC?
Quillen one.
Quillen card?
Yeah, Quillen one.
Yeah, that'd be the same time, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it will be.
But yeah, the Hearn card shit anyway, so all I care about is Joshua in that fight, in that card. I don't really care about Joshua in that card. I just want to see the quick knockout. Floyd's fighting Berto. We ain't spoke about it because there's nothing to speak about. Simple as. I like Floyd, but it's a nothing fight. Yeah, he must only retire afterwards. Good on him. He's had a good career. Okay, do your thing. But other than that, I'm hyped about Jack vs Groves. I'll be ready to see whose glass gets shattered in that fight. I still haven't picked, so I want to see. Maybe I'll wait till weigh-ins. I want to see how they both look and who looks more hungry. But yeah, man, that's it.
All right, thank you, Ari. Chu, any final thoughts? Chu?
Sorry, Cam, my mic was on mute. Just I wanted to hear about he fought in the Lee Shelby fight. He signed with Al Heyman, and then you go from the World Championship to an easy fight. I just think it's going to be another Al Heyman fighter who just gets soft touches.
Yeah, we kind of touched on it earlier. I don't think it is. I think it's just one defense. It's a bit easy. But I think Selby seems to me the type of guy that wants to take on the best guys. So I'll give him a pass for this fight. But if he fights another lower level opposition after Montiel, then I'll start shitting on him.
Fair enough.
Anyone else want to jump in?
I mean, it's okay. It's not good. It's not bad.
Fair enough.
But it's shit for you guys that it's on a Wednesday. It's on a Wednesday night here, so it's going to be 4 a.m. on a Thursday.
A Wednesday night?
Yeah, it's on October 14th. So
They're not even putting on a decent time for Sky.
No,
yeah, fuck.
What?
Because that's kind of been one of the good things about PBC for you guys is that, like, say McDonnell, you got to watch it at 9 o'clock. It was at 9 p.m.
Yeah.
Yeah, 10 past 9 it started.
But
I bet they showed tape delay on that.
Yeah,
No, it was live.
Yeah, so it's ESPN, but it's going to be on Sky Sports. Hearn's confirmed that.
What a stupid day to put that fight on.
I think because now that the NFL season started, it's tough for them to get dates on
the weekends.
Like CBS.
Yeah, because college football is big.
Yeah.
Here it's almost as big. It's like you've got college football Saturday, NFL Sunday, so it's tough for them to get dates.
Who do you think will headline that card? Because just looking at Devin Alexander and Aaron Martinez is on there. Do you think they'll do what they did this weekend and the Selby fight will go first?
Yeah, that's the headline. And you know what?
That's a terrible fight.
Yeah, I was thinking about this because, like, McDonnell and Kameda was chief support, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And it seems like they'll always push the American fighters first. But the thing is that the dominant fighters in world boxing now are not necessarily Americans. In most divisions, it's European or Asian fighters. And that could be one way that the PBC doesn't work because Americans are going to want to watch American boxers and get behind Americans, like the average guy, just like the average guy in England tunes in to watch an English guy fight for a world title, but they don't really give a shit about two Russians fighting each other.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying, but I was praising PBC a few minutes ago, but I mean, some of the headline and cards they've got this year have been fucking terrible. Deontay Wilder against I can't even remember his name. Everybody.
Duplessis, isn't it? The new guy.
You talk about his fight against Molina, was it?
Oh, Molina.
Molina.
If Devin Alexander can't knock Aaron Martinez out, he needs to go get a job at the car wash with Adrian Broner.
When has Devin Alexander ever showed power other than that one Urango knockout?
That's it, but it's Aaron Martinez, man. He's shit.
I actually want Martinez to win just so Alexander goes away because he's so boring.
Yeah.
Every time he steps up, he chokes.
I'm rooting for Martinez because I think he beat Guerrero, man. He hit Guerrero so hard that he knocked him out and then woke him up when he punched him again. You know, you got to give a guy props that a guy can wake someone up from a knockout.
Exactly.
But I'm so hard it was woke up a ghost.
Right, Chew, anything else or should we get out of here?
Nah, that's me.
Alright, cheers, Chew. I want to thank everyone on the show today. I want to thank all the people in the chat and thank all the people that download the show week in, week out. We'll be back next week. Peace.
You just listened to the Boxing Coalition.
I did. Man, I love boxing. I fucking love boxing.
A big shout out to the Boxing Coalition.
You're a newbie.
No, I ain't new, man.
If my fucking next door neighbour became the #1 flyweight in the world, you know what I'd do? I'd fucking walk past the cunt.
Derek, how you doing, bro?
I was physically banging, blood.
I disagree.
First time I hear the show, man, it was fucking badass.
Vamos a Argentina, la concha de su madre.
I see the bomb in them.
I get home and she's like, what the fuck? Me and the kid are here. Why don't you get home and talk to us? I'm like, man, you guys don't know shit about boxing.
Kel, how does it feel to be the new IBF champion?
Feels great. Did we really dive into the black hole right off the jump?
I think he's hiding glass. Just to play devil's advocate.
You want one portion of crow or two portions of crow?
Give me 2 portions with a supersized fries and a large drink, please.
I can't stand him, what? I'm Scottish.
Cringe side?
But you won't rush Anthony fucking fat ass Joshua, would you?
He's not fat.
How about you tell us what you weigh for your final thoughts?
My weight?
Thank you for listening to the Boxing Coalition. We are live every Monday, 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. UK time, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern.